Chapter 121. That's great. Hearing that, Dan Taiyu could not help but exclaim. I have to say, Tsing Hui's luck is pretty good, Dan Tating said, and turned to Tsing Hui. Tsing Hui, our Beihai City will be heading towards the Dragon Whale City tomorrow. At that time, Beihai City will only be managed by and will definitely be empty. I hope that Tsing Hui can bear with us. This is my duty. Tsing Hui nodded slightly. There were only a few spirit refining experts in Beihai City. With Dan Tating, Wu Yu, and the others leaving, there was no way to bring out any decent experts. They had no choice but to rely on Tsing Hui. Thankfully, the arrival of the upper guest of the Green Ruins has made up for the weakness of our Northern Sea City's defenses. Otherwise, if the Sea Wind Fortress were to fall, it would probably be extremely difficult for our Northern Sea City to maintain our current status. Dan Tating said solemnly, Beihai City on Dragon Whale Island is one of the cities furthest from Dragon Whale City. A round trip would take more than a day. Moreover, there will be a series of activities during the treasure presentation assembly. We have no choice but to participate in these activities. Otherwise, we will be excluded from the upper circle of Dragon Whale Country. With all these delays, it would probably be half a month before we return to Beihai City. In this half a month, I hope that everyone will guard Beihai City well to prevent any changes from happening. When Ching Su heard Tantai Ting mention this for the second time, his heart skipped a beat. He asked, City Lord Tantai, have you received any news? Since Tsing Hui asked, I will not hide it from you. There are indeed rumors from the outside that there are people who have designs on our Beihai City. However, please rest assured, Tsing Hui, even if our Beihai City's vitality is greatly damaged, and many spirit refining experts have suffered heavy losses, but with so many years of foundation, it is not easy for anyone to deal with us. Those who have designs on our Beihai City must be prepared to be defeated by us. I will personally oversee North Sea City and kill every cultivator who dares to invade North Sea City. At this moment, a clear and resolute voice came from outside the study. Then, he saw Dan Tang, who had long hair and was wearing a tight soft armor that accentuated her curvaceous figure, striding over. When Dan Tang arrived, his gaze landed on Tsing Hui. Upper honored guest Tsing Hui, you'll help us, right? Tsing Hui was moved by the importance of Dan Taiying and the others, but he didn't say anything. He just nodded and said, Of course. All right, upper honored guest Tsing Hui must have had a tough journey. Please rest early and prepare for the upcoming battle in the void of North Sea City. Tsing Hui nodded and retreated. Seeing Ching Su leave, Tantai Ting smiled. I've already expressed how much I value him earlier. I'm very likely to rely on him as my left and right arm. There's no need for you to bring it up again. Father, you may not know, but I have just received news that when Tsing Hui left Shaoyang Sea City, both Hyun Fan and Guza had sent a team to kill him. Not long ago, there was news that 13 corpses of spirit refining cultivators were found on a nameless island. 5 of them were sent by Hyun Fan and Guza to kill Tsing Hui. Dan Taiying's face changed. 13 spirit refining cultivators? You mean these 13 spirit refining cultivators were killed by him? It may be impossible for him to kill 13 spirit refining cultivators alone, but these 13 spirit refining cultivators died because of him. Upper honored guest Tsing Hui sold the corpse of a rank 4 half-holy beast, Jiuying, in Shaoyang Sea City. Uncle Wu should have told you about it, right? Dan Tating looked at Wu Yu and nodded. Manager Wu has indeed told me about it. The fire essence core and water essence core of the rank 4 half-holy beast, Jiuying, were all taken away. He only sold a corpse that could be used to refine the blood of a holy beast if the fire essence core was secretly kept by Tsing Hui and refined. Then Dan Taiying's words caused Dan Tating and Wu Yu's faces to change. The core of the 4th rank half-holy beast Jiuying's flame essence. As long as the cultivator is able to comprehend the mysteries of refining qi into earth force, the energy contained within is enough to allow a cultivator who has just formed their qi to break through to the spirit refining realm, an entire realm. You mean, Tsing Hui, with his Saint-grade Qi at large success, would definitely be in a precarious situation under the encirclement of 13 spirit refining cultivators. After all, no matter how strong the Saint-grade Qi is, due to the restriction of the realm, he could only barely contend against a beginner spirit refining cultivator. But once he breaks through to the spirit refining realm and the Saint-grade Qi he cultivates, there is no need for Dan Taiying to continue speaking. Dan Tating's eyes shone with a dazzling light. He definitely broke through to the spirit refining realm. Otherwise, there is no way to explain how he could survive under the encirclement of 13 spirit refining cultivators. Moreover, the fire essence core's energy should not be as simple as just breaking through to the spirit refining realm, but helping him cultivate it to small success. Good fellow, a spirit refining cultivator who has cultivated holy grade astral chi. His battle prowess is not inferior to any peak spirit refining cultivator. Just him alone is enough to fight against several spirit refining cultivators. Looking at it this way, our Beihai city's overall strength has not decreased. Not only that, once he refines all the fire attribute peerless grade spirit stones, his cultivation will definitely climb to a new level. At that time, the strength of Northern Sea City will also increase. Saint-grade Qi at large success. Dan Tating immediately understood what Dan Taiying was referring to, and his pupils shrunk. Even he, the city lord of Beihai City, who stood at the peak of spirit refining cultivators, did not have absolute confidence in defeating an expert with Saint-grade Qi at large success. The premise is that we can keep Tsing Hui in Beihai City. As long as he is willing to stay in Beihai City, no one will be able to shake Beihai City's position in Dragon Whale Country. As Dan Taiying spoke, his gaze fell on Dan Taiyu. Dan Tating and Wu Yu also realized where the opportunity was. After refining those fire attribute spirit stones, Tsing Hui will be able to cultivate Saint-grade Qi at large success. The next step is to refine the treasure in my hand, perfect his Qi, or even when Tan Tai Ting said this, it was already somewhat hard to imagine. The higher the grade of the Qi, the harder it is to unify the spirit and Qi. But if Tsing Hui could really achieve the step of unifying the spirit and Qi with Saint-grade Qi at large success, from then on, the Dantai clan would have a meteoric rise with no limit. If you really can't take down Tsing Hui, or if you find it hard to say something because of your personality, then let me do it. Dan Taiying looked at Dan Taiyu, his pretty face filled with determination. We must tie him to our Dantai clan's war chariot before he truly understands his value. Big sister, Dan Taiyu looked at Dan Taiying, hesitated for a moment, and then shook her head. Big sister, father, based on my understanding of Tsing Hui, I think it's unrealistic to tie Tsing Hui to our Dantai clan's war chariot. If father, big sister, you really trust me, we can give that treasure to him now and treat him with sincerity. Based on my understanding of him over the years, if we really do that, Tsing Hui will remember it in his heart. When he achieves great success in his cultivation in the future, he won't forget the Dantai clan's help. No, Tan Tai Ting shook his head. That treasure is of great importance. If I offer it to the few great figures ranked in the top 100 on the Divine Dragon ranking, it won't be difficult for me to obtain protection from them. If we give it to him now, what if he takes the treasure away and doesn't return to our Northern Sea City? I don't think Tsing Hui is that kind of person. Say no more. The human heart is unpredictable. You're too young and inexperienced. You don't understand the principle of moving people with benefits, father. Before Dan Tating could finish, Dan Taiying interjected. In truth, I think you should consider little sister's words. You should also, father, let me finish what I have to say. Tan Taiying waved her hand and said sternly, he managed to cultivate Saint-grade Gang Qi along the way in Qingsu. Furthermore, he clearly chose to sell the Jiuying's corpse with supreme grade spirit stones. This shows how ambitious he is. A cultivator like him who has set his sights on the entire world and is bent on cultivating Saint-grade gang chi isn't someone that our tiny Tanai clan can restrain. Rather than that, why don't we take advantage of the time when he is yet to rise and provide him with our full support? If there comes a day when he achieves meteoric success, our Tantai clan will be the biggest beneficiary. Dan Tating fell silent for a moment. After a while, he spoke again. I'll consider this matter carefully. It won't be too late to make a final decision after seeing his performance in the face of our Beihai City's calamity. Dan Taing did not insist. It's all up to Father. Tsinghui naturally did not know that the few people in charge of the Dantai clan had a series of debates over his policy. At this time, he had already returned to his room. This trip to Shaoyang Sea City could be said to have benefited him greatly. Not only did he cultivate his golden Crozian Qi to large success, but he also exchanged for the supreme grade fire spirit stones. In addition, he had already comprehended sword intent. The path to the spirit refining realm was already smooth and unobstructed. What he needed to do next was to cultivate properly and rush to the spirit refining realm as soon as possible. Once he reached the spirit refining realm and cultivated divine grade stellar energy, he would join Tianxiong. With Tianxiong as his backer, he would no longer have to live in fear. Even if his identity as the son of primal chaos was exposed, it would be fine. In the entire Eastern Wasteland, no one would dare to frame a son of primal chaos from the large-scale primal chaos organization Tianxiong. Thinking of this, he did not bother to adjust his mental state. He immediately took out the supreme grade fire spirit stones and entered seclusion to cultivate. In this way, Dan Taiyu, who had been ordered to approach Tsing Hui at night, could do nothing. Early the next morning, the Beihai battleship that was prepared to present the treasures to the Dragon Whale City soared into the sky. Amidst a gust of wind, it tore through the clouds and disappeared into the horizon. Less than a day after Dan Tating, Wu Yu, and the other elites escorted the treasures presented to the Dragon Whale Island Lord and left Beihai City, the atmosphere in Beihai City suddenly became strange. A large group of unfamiliar cultivators poured into Beihai City at the same time. Chapter 122. Although the energy in the supreme grade fire spirit stone is pure, it's not easy to absorb it. Tsing Hui placed a fire spirit stone on the table. He had 10,000 supreme grade fire spirit stones with him. It would take him about a year to refine all of them. If he wanted to cultivate slowly without wasting anything, it would take him 3 years. At that time, he would have a chance of breaking through to the Qi refinement stage with these 10,000 supreme grade fire spirit stones. As far as the speed of cultivation was concerned, it was already not slow for him to have a chance to cultivate his Qi into gang in 3 years. However, as time passed day by day, and a part of the 10 years had passed, he was still far away from achieving the vacuum-crushing realm. He was so anxious that even the superb grade fire spiritual stone could not satisfy his needs. If I have a fire attribute essence core from class 4 quasi-saint beast, it would take me half a month to reach the Qi refinement stage. If I have more fire attribute essence cores with my powerful sword will, it would take me 2 months to cultivate divine grade Qi refinement stage. Unfortunately, it's not easy to encounter a class 4 quasi-saint beast. If I encounter one in the sea, I'll die. Tsing Hui shook his head. He took out another fire attribute supreme grade fire spirit stone and began to refine the fire attribute primal Qi in it to cultivate. Tsing Hui, are you there? Less than half an hour after Tsing Hui resumed his cultivation, Dan Taiyu's anxious voice rang from outside the door. Tsing Hui immediately ended his cultivation and walked out of the door. He saw a worried Dan Taiyu waiting outside the door. Upon seeing Tsing Hui, Dan Taiyu seemed to have found her pillar of support. She heaved a sigh of relief. Tsing Hui, it's great that you're here. Let's go to the city governor's mansion's meeting hall. A large number of experts have entered North Sea City these few days. They're stirring up trouble in the city and even assassinating the Imperial Guards. The situation in the city is getting more and more tense. Please help us. Assassination. It seems like they're probing. Let's go to the meeting hall, Sing Hui said and headed for the assembly hall. Sing Hui, when the time comes, if our North Sea city is really in danger, can you please go all out and repel those villains who are disturbing the peace of our North Sea city? Dan Taiyu stood beside Sing Hui, her right hand pinching the corner of her plaid skirt as she asked nervously. Sing Hui knew what Dan Taiyu meant by going all out. 5th level, high-grade divine weapon. However, if Qing Su relied on the advantage of the Scarlet Dragon Sword right now, he would not necessarily be any weaker than a cultivator of the realm of divine Qi. If he used his divine technique and used his full strength, even regular cultivators of the realm of divine Qi would not be his opponent. If he really did expose the Scarlet Dragon Sword, he could still protect it. It was just that it might cause some unnecessary trouble. If it's necessary, I'll do my best. Hearing Sing Hui's promise, Dan Taiyu was pleasantly surprised and bowed to Sing Hui. Thank you, Sing Hui. Thank you. Sing Hui held her up with his hand. He had a good impression of this curious little girl. You don't have to be like this. Strictly speaking, you saved my life. Now that you've asked me for help, I'll do my best no matter what. You've already repaid me for saving your life during the bloody battle at Sea Wind Fort. No matter what, our Dan Tai clan has to thank you. Sing Hui smiled and did not say anything. The two of them quickly arrived at the assembly hall. In the meeting hall, Tan Tai Yin was talking to a middle-aged woman who had perfected her true energy. Both of them had a grave expression on their faces. When she saw Sing Hui and Dan Taiyu arrive, her eyes immediately lit up. She interrupted the middle-aged woman's report and turned to Sing Hui. Sing Hui, you've come at the right time. Our North Sea city's experts have all been transferred to protect the tribute to the Dragon Whale Island Lord. North Sea City can be said to be incomparably empty right now. We'll have to completely rely on you. Since I've accepted the position of North Sea City's upper guest elder, I'll naturally contribute my strength. Sing Hui said. His reply caused the middle-aged woman to look at him with a much friendlier gaze. Sing Hui, let me introduce you. This is my bodyguard captain, Beigong Xiao. Currently, she's temporarily taking up the position of North Sea City's Imperial Guard commander. We can confirm that there's a group of people eyeing our North Sea City. They've sent a large number of true Qi realm and even spirit refining realm experts to cause trouble in our North Sea City, probing the bottom line of our strength. If we don't stop them, once they think that our North Sea City is soft and easy to bully, they'll definitely launch an all-out attack. At that time, the entire North Sea City will be plunged into misery and suffering. Therefore, before they make up their minds, we must give them a heavy blow and let them understand that no matter who it is, they'll have to pay with their lives if they have any ideas about our North Sea City. When Tan Tai Yin reached the end of her speech, her words were filled with an iron-blooded and murderous aura. Taking precautions is indeed the best method. Commander Beigong, have you investigated the enemy's background? Currently, we've investigated a total of 102 true Qi realm cultivators and 6 spirit refining realm cultivators. Fortunately, only 4 of the 6 spirit refining realm cultivators were probing. The remaining 2 represent different powers and are still observing. Beigong Xiao said with a dignified expression. Of course, this is only the number of cultivators that we've investigated. If we include those that have yet to show themselves, the number would have doubled. 6 spirit refining realm cultivators, doubling again. This had already surpassed the combined power of North Sea City. Of course, these spirit refining realm cultivators represented different powers. If they truly belonged to a certain power, there would be no need for them to be so cautious in sending people to probe. They could just directly attack. Do you have the detailed location of those spirit refining realm cultivators that made a move? And, hearing Sing Hui's question, Dan Taiying's gaze fell on him. You intend to use force? Those spirit refining realm cultivators that were sent to investigate usually have extremely strong life-saving abilities. The moment you make a move and fail to take them down, people will see that our North Sea City is weak. At that time, remaining indifferent will only make their probing more obvious. As the eldest daughter of the North Sea City's city lord, you wouldn't want to see the city fall into chaos under the destruction of these spirit refining realm cultivators, right? Dan Taiying thought about the news she received. 13 spirit refining realm cultivators died. More than half of them were killed by the blazing fire attribute chi. And Tsing Hui cultivated fire attribute chi. All right, then I'll have to trouble you, Tsing Hui. Commander Beigong, I'll have to trouble you to cooperate with Tsing Hui. Beigong Xiu looked at Tsing Hui. Although she had heard of Tsing Hui's name and knew that he had the battle prowess of a spirit refining realm cultivator, but those spirit refining realm cultivators that came to probe were not weak. If Tsing Hui was unable to control the situation, the consequences would be unimaginable. However, thinking that if she could consider the problem, Big Miss would also be able to consider it. And Big Miss still did not hesitate to let him carry out this mission. Beigong Xiu did not hesitate. All right, head guest Tsing Hui, please follow me. She gestured with her hand and brought Tsing Hui away. If it wasn't for the fact that we have no one to use, we would not be willing to place our hopes on a stranger that has not even been in North Sea City for 2 months. Looking at Tsing Hui's departing figure, Dan Taiying's eyes carried a trace of sorrow. There was no other way. Who asked North Sea City to suffer such disastrous losses and be pushed to the bottom of the 10 cities of Dragon Whale Island? Sister, I believe in Tsing Hui. Since Tsing Hui has spoken, he will definitely be able to save our North Sea City. Dan Taiyu consoled. Seeing his sister's confident appearance, Dan Taiying's heart suddenly moved. You were, back then in Sea Windford, you and Tsing Hui went along the river and chased after those sea beasts that went deep into the land. Was that rank 4 half-holy Jiuying killed by Tsing Hui? Did he only display his true strength at that time? Dan Taiyu's heart jumped at her sister's question. She hurriedly shook her head. I don't know. At that time, I was very far away and did not know what happened. Really? An N. Really? Dan Taiyu nodded repeatedly. Dan Taiying smiled and retracted her gaze from Dan Taiyu's face. After all, she was her own sister. How could she, as her sister, not know her character and whether she was lying or not? Seems like this Tsing Hui has hidden his strength very deeply. His true strength may be far beyond my imagination. At least, it's not as simple as defeating 13 spirit refining experts. Thinking of this, Dan Taiying's starry eyes flashed. Father is ultimately too cautious. If such a genius is not quickly tied together with great benefits, when he truly soars to the heavens in the future, there will be no more opportunities. Where is Father's treasure hidden? No, I have to find it. Prince Tsing Hui, there are a total of 4 spirit refining experts probing our Beihai city. Among them, the most arrogant one is this one. We do not know his name, but we know that his nickname is by Shanzi. On the night before yesterday, he sneaked into our mansion and killed 13 of our guards. However, this person seems to have awakened the dragon swallow blood meridians. His movement is extremely fast. Even a peak spirit refining expert might not be able to match his speed. Once he reacted, he could easily shake us off. I wonder what plans does Senior Tsing Hui have? Beigong Xiu brought Tsing Hui to a small courtyard in the middle of the city. Plan? Tsing Hui smiled. There is no need for a plan. Don't give him any time to react, and just kill him with a sword. Tsing Hui's words caused Beigong Xiu's expression to turn sluggish. Senior Tsing Hui, you are joking, right? Although Bai Shanzi specializes in speed, he is still a middle-stage spirit refining expert. Even a city lord might not be able to kill him in one strike. If you do not have a detailed plan, it is best not to act rashly and alert the enemy. In order to determine his whereabouts, we have been tracking him for 2 days and 2 nights without rest. Since Dan Taiying gave you full authority to cooperate with me, you only need to do what you should do. As for the rest, leave it to me. Seal off this area and don't let the news spread out. After finishing his words, Tsing Hui leaped and landed in the courtyard. Almost at the instant he landed in the courtyard, Bai Shanzi, who was hiding in the courtyard, immediately sensed his presence. The next moment, he broke through the window and was about to leave with his fastest speed. Damn it, unable to accomplish anything, but good at spoiling things. Seeing this scene, Beigongxiu cursed and was about to rush forward to intercept Bai Shanzi. But at this moment a sword ray burst out. A blazing streak of light pierced through Bai Shanzi's body in an instant. Then, with a spin, it returned to the green ruins, vanishing without a trace. Let's go next. Chapter 123. Beigongxiu looked at Bai Shanzi, who had rushed out of the window and fallen to the ground dead before he could escape the courtyard. Her eyes immediately widened. That was, he directly used a thunderous method to kill the 4 spirit refining cultivators who attacked Beihai City. I think that at that time, those spirit refining cultivators would calm down. Beigongxiu trembled and finally woke up. At this moment, she finally understood why the big miss was so assured in letting Xing Hui handle this matter. With this kind of strength, ordinary spirit refining cultivators were nothing. Why would he be afraid of those small fries? With the Qing Su upper honor guest in our Beihai City, we can rest easy. I apologize for doubting the strength of the Qing Su upper honor guest. I will bring you to the location of the next spirit refining cultivator. No worries, let's go. Just don't let the news spread. Why? If we were to spread this news, we would be able to intimidate those restless spirit refining cultivators. Those spirit refining cultivators obviously came to Beihai City to probe. It's impossible for them to not notice the abnormality here. I'm afraid that in less than half an hour after you leave, they will know about Bai Shanzi's death. However, if they find out about Bai Shanzi's death, the effect would be different from us deliberately spreading the news. In a while, as long as we are fast enough and do not leave behind any clues, the fear brought by the unknown will easily crush their will. Hearing this, Beigongxiu nodded. Xing Hui's words make sense. The unknown is the most terrifying. Let's end this quickly. Don't give them time to react. Xing Hui rummaged through Bai Shanzi's corpse. Other than a rank 3 divine weapon, there was nothing good. After all, these people came with the intention to cause trouble. It was impossible for them to bring along real treasures. Bringing along a weapon for fighting was already the limit. Yes, Beigongxiu replied respectfully and brought Xing Hui to the next spirit refining cultivator. Although those spirit refining cultivators were very cautious and had good life-saving methods, in front of absolute strength, they were not worth mentioning. In less than an hour, the 4 spirit refining cultivators who tried to probe Beihai City were all killed by him. After killing the 4 spirit refining cultivators, Xing Hui quietly left and continued his closed-door cultivation. However, as the news of the 4 spirit refining cultivators being killed in less than an hour spread out, the originally turbulent Beihai City suddenly quieted down. The wind and waves calmed down. Those cultivators who harbored ill intentions were all trembling under this thunderous blow and no longer dared to do anything excessive. Beigongxiu was the first to receive the news. She excitedly went to Tantayu's office in the city lord's residence. Eldest young miss, no wonder the city lord could rest assured and let you guard Beihai City alone to defend against those small fries. It turns out that we actually have an expert like the Qing Su High Guest in Beihai City. 4 spirit refining cultivators were killed in less than an hour. Those are spirit refining cultivators. They belong to the core of any power. 4 of them died in an instant. Currently, all the foreign cultivators in Beihai City are so scared that they keep quiet out of fear, not daring to act blindly without thinking. In less than an hour, 4 spirit refining cultivators were killed. Although Dan Taiying was already mentally prepared, after hearing Beigongxiu's report, she could not help but hold her breath. However, in front of Beigongxiu, she naturally would not reveal anything. She only smiled confidently. That's natural. With Xing Hui here, our Beihai City can rest easy. If there are any more people jumping around, watch them and do not act rashly. When the time is right, let Xing Hui make a move and kill them one by one. I don't believe that the loss of so many spirit refining cultivators will not hurt. Yes, that's how it should be. Either we don't make a move, or we make them feel pain. Big Missy, I'll go arrange it. Bei Gongxiu said and quickly retreated. Seeing Bei Gongxiu leave, Dan Taiying could not help but think of the information she just reported. Tsinghui, when Beihai City suddenly became peaceful, Longjing City's treasure offering assembly had already begun and was about to reach the climax of the announcement. However, just as the announcement was about to begin, a travel-worn man came to the Longjing Island Lord's residence and asked for an audience. He was called into the guest hall. In the guest hall, the Longjing Island Lord, who looked to be in his 40s, was holding a cup of tea and carefully sipping it. Behind him was an old man. This old man looked unremarkable, standing behind the Longjing Island Lord like a servant. However, Zhang Jiuxiao did not dare to underestimate him. This was because this old man was one of the Dragon Whale Island's 3 Unity of Spirit Realm experts, the infamous Impermanence envoy Zhuo Wuchang. Because the Dragon Whale Island Master had once saved his life, he was willing to become the Dragon Whale Island Master's butler and follow his every command. Come try it. This is one of the tribute teas that Brother Yun Tao sent over. It's a specialty of Wave City. Brother Yun Tao does not like to manage the city, but the flowers and plants he grows are truly extraordinary. Ordinary people do not have the right to enjoy such good tea. Zhang Jiuxiao hurriedly stood up when he heard the island lord mention Yun Tao's name. It's my honor to be able to enjoy tea personally picked by Yun Tao. Yun Tao, the Wave City Lord, was the Longjing Island Lord's 3rd Spirit Chi Unity Stage cultivator. Only Spirit Chi Unity Stage cultivators had the qualifications to make the Island Lord address them as brothers. Zhang Jiuxiao, didn't you join a core disciple of the Hunyuan Heaven Sect? You should be living a comfortable life now. Why do you have time to visit my Longjing Island? Said the Island Lord indifferently as he sipped his tea. When it comes to comfort, how can I compare to the Island Lord who oversees a region and controls the life and death of tens of millions of people? All right, I've already heard these words of flattery countless times in the past 80 years. You don't have to say anymore. If you have something to say, just say it directly. We're currently in the middle of the treasure presentation assembly. A few city lords have presented a few good treasures. I intend to carefully observe them. I'm actually here for the treasure presentation assembly. I've heard that the little island lord is so young, but your cultivation talent has been tested to be above average. Your future is limitless. However, if you want to have any achievements on the cultivation path, you'll need a top-notch cultivation technique. If your awakened bloodline is strong enough, your cultivation will be twice the result with half the effort, and your strength will grow by leaps and bounds. It's not easy to obtain a top-notch cultivation technique. 3 years ago, for a top-notch sacred scripture, I fought with several divine dragonless cultivators. In the end, I killed a Spirit Chi Unity Stage cultivator and 32 Spirit Refining cultivators before I took the sacred scripture for myself. Unfortunately, the sacred scripture doesn't seem to be compatible with Lin Er's talent. You mentioned the treasure presentation assembly because you want to give Peng Er a top-notch cultivation technique, right? That's right. Oh, the Island Lord glanced at Zhang Jiuxiao. What kind of cultivation technique can you have? You've joined the Hunyuan Heaven Sect's true disciple. Don't tell me that the true disciple will pass the Hunyuan Heaven Sect's secret cultivation technique to you? Moreover, even if it's a secret cultivation technique of the Hunyuan Heaven Sect, I don't care about ordinary saint cultivation techniques. Don't tell me you can obtain the Hunyuan Heaven Sect's sacred scripture, the Black Hole Sutra? Zhang Jiuxiao respectfully lowered his head. What I want to give to the Island Lord is the Hunyuan Heaven Sect's sacred scripture, the Black Hole Sutra. Ooh, the Dragon Whale Island Master, who had been calm and indifferent, suddenly stood up. What did you say? You said you want to give me the Hunyuan Heaven Sect's supreme cultivation technique, the Black Hole Sutra? The sacred scripture of the sect? That's right. Only a supreme cultivation technique, like the Black Hole Sutra, is worthy of the little island lord's above-average cultivation talent. The island lord realized that he had lost his composure and sat back down. However, his breathing was clearly heavier. Tell me, what do you want? Island lord is wise. In truth, I'm here on behalf of a true disciple of the Hunyuan Heaven sect. She's willing to give you a handwritten copy of the Black Hole Sutra as a congratulatory gift. She wants you to kill someone for her. A handwritten copy? Hearing that, the Dragon Whale Island Lord calmed down slightly. However, it was only natural. Even a true disciple of the Hunyuan Heaven sect might not be able to obtain the true copy of the Black Hole Sutra. If it was just a handwritten copy, it would be more believable. I remember that the master you're seeking refuge with is called by you a spirit-refining disciple. Zhuo Wu Chang, who had been standing behind the island lord like a shadow, suddenly spoke. Lord Wu Chang's eyes are as bright as torches. The true disciple I'm seeking refuge with is Fairy Baiyu. Not long ago, Baiyu's most beloved younger brother was killed by someone called Cho Tsing Hui. However, Cho Tsing Hui had a relative called Nailan Fei who protected him. Baiyu wanted to take revenge, but she couldn't do anything. The person you want Island Lord to kill wouldn't be that Cho Tsing Hui, right? Zhang Jiuxiao was taken aback for a moment before he hurriedly said respectfully, I didn't expect Lord Wu Chang to have such detailed information about a true disciple from the mainland. I admire you greatly. However, the person Fairy Baiyu wants to kill is Cho Tsing Hui. Moreover, Cho Tsing Hui has already fled overseas. If you want to establish a force overseas, if you don't have a clear grasp of the 10 great sex movements, who knows when you'll be destroyed by the temple masters sent by the 10 great sections? Who is Cho Tsing Hui? The Dragon Whale Island Lord asked in excitement. Cho Tsing Hui isn't worth mentioning. However, his relative, Nailan Fei, is quite amazing. She's already cultivated Saint-grade Astral Chi at such a young age. Astral Chi realm? Then there's no need to pay attention to her. So what if she is Saint-grade Astral Chi? Even if her Astral Chi has reached grand completion, I guarantee that she won't be able to return if she dares to behave atrociously in my Island Lord's territory. The Dragon Whale Island Master waved his hand heroically and took over the task. I'll take care of it. Wu Chang, investigate Zhuo Qingshu's whereabouts immediately. There's no need to investigate. Cho Tsing Hui is on our island. Chapter 124. There's no need to investigate. Cho Tsing Hui is in our Dragon Whale Island. Zhuo Wu Chang said. And the Dragon Whale Island's owner narrowed his eyes. Zhang Jiuxiao could not help but reveal a look of joy. That Cho Tsing Hui is actually here? He's really walking right into a trap. Island Lord, please immediately take action and kill Cho Tsing Hui. As long as you can kill Cho Tsing Hui, I will hand over the Black Hole Scripture's awakening piece with both hands. Hee. This is a little interesting. The Dragon Whale Island's owner swept a glance at Zhuo Wu Chang. Speak, what's going on? Island Lord should know that my disciple broke through to the peak of the spirit refining realm not long ago. This brat's temperament is strong, and after reaching the peak of the spirit refining realm, he was unwilling to use the resources I gave him to cultivate. He wanted to rely on himself to make a name for himself. In the end, I could only let him choose one of the cities on the island. Coincidentally, there was a rank 4 half-sacred Jewing leading a group of people to attack Beihai City, causing great damage to its vitality. Thus, he set his sights on Beihai City. Oh, I've also heard of this matter. The Beihai City's owner is called Dan Tating, right? He can be considered as the #1 person in the spirit refining realm. Moreover, the treasure he offered this time is not bad, a space stone. My Dragon Whale bloodline can swallow the world. Refining the space stone will be of great help to my cultivation. Space stone? That's only a portion of what the Northern Sea City obtained. The real benefit that the Northern Sea City obtained was a class 4 half-holy beast, 9 infants. And rank 4 half-sacred Jiuing. The Dragon Whale Island's owner seemed to have thought of something, and his expression immediately became unsightly. You're saying that the corpse of the semi-holy beast Jiuing that stirred up a storm in Shaoyang Sea City not long ago came from our Dragon Whale Island? That's right. I have yet to find out why the 4th-level half-saint beast Jiuing died at the hands of North Sea City, but according to my calculations, It is a fact that North Sea City benefited from its corpse. The city lord of North Sea City, Dan Tating, used Cho Tsing Hui as a cover to sell Jiu Ying's corpse in exchange for many benefits. However, the true benefit was the fire and water essence core in Jiu Ying's body, which had long been digested by him in secret. Compared to the fire and water essence core, a mere space stone is nothing. Zhuo Wuchang sneered. Dan Tating, how dare you? How dare you sell the treasures of my Dragon Whale Island in Shaoyang Sea City? Is Dan Tating still in the residence? Immediately send people to capture him alive and interrogate him. When I saw him a few days ago, his cultivation had yet to break through. Most likely, he has yet to refine the fire and water essence core. The Dragon Whale Island's lord's face flashed with coldness. A mere city lord of North Sea City was nothing in his eyes. After all, most of the cultivators in the sea were in the awakening realm, true chi realm, and spirit refining realm. However, this little city lord that he didn't take seriously actually caused him to miss out on the corpse of a quasi-sacred beast, the nine-headed snakelet, and even caused him to miss out on the fire-water essence core. If he could obtain the nine-headed snakelet's water essence core and refine it, there would be great hope for his cultivation to break through to the late stage of divine chi unison realm. The late stage of spirit and chi unity realm was enough to raise his ranking on the divine dragon list by at least 100 places. At that time, his authority and influence would be far greater than what he had now. Island Lord, if we capture Dan Tating now, I'm afraid that we will alert the enemy. Once Cho Tsing Hui guesses something, he will immediately escape, and it will not be easy for us to capture him again. That Cho Tsing Hui still has this kind of ability, is what Wu Chang whispered. Island Lord may not know, but that disciple of mine was originally full of confidence and wanted to take North Sea City for himself. However, because of Cho Tsing Hui's interference, he was forced to return in defeat. It was also because of this that I specially investigated Cho Tsing Hui's origin and found out about the matters of the Hunyuan Heaven sect. That Cho Tsing Hui most likely refined Jiu Ying's fire essence core and broke through to the spirit refining realm. His battle prowess is not inferior to a peak spirit refining realm cultivator. Peak spirit refining realm, Dan Tating cannot escape from Dragon Whale City. However, once Cho Tsing Hui receives the news and escapes, with his peak spirit refining realm strength, ordinary people will not be able to deal with him. Thus, in my opinion, there is no harm in temporarily stabilizing Dan Tating while I personally head to North Sea City to capture Cho Tsing Hui. At that time, we will be able to catch them all in one fell swoop. Wu Chang, if you are willing to personally make a trip, then there will naturally be no mistakes. Zhang Jiuxiao quickly said, "Many thanks, Lord Wu Chang. No matter how powerful that Cho Tsing Hui is, he is only cultivated for a short period of time. As long as Lord Wu Chang is willing to appear, it will be easy to capture him." So Wu Chang nodded. "Then I will go and arrange the matters at hand. We will set off tomorrow morning." The death of the four spirit refining realm cultivators calmed down the storm in North Sea City. The large number of awakening realm, true chi realm, and even spirit refining realm cultivators that entered North Sea City had all retreated in just a short day. Because Tsing Hui had Beigong Xiao and the rest in charge of blocking the news, outsiders did not know the details of the death of the four spirit refining realm cultivators. In less than an hour, the four spirit refining cultivators seemed to have been killed. It was precisely because of the fear of the unknown that many cultivators retreated in fear. With everyone retreating, Tsing Hui naturally became idle again. Originally, he planned to wait until he reached the peak of True Chi Realm before using the Great Sun Essence. But now, he was considering if he should use it in advance. After all, a year's time to refine the peerless grade fire spirit stones and cultivate to the peak of True Chi Realm was too slow for him. Wait a minute, a peerless grade fire spirit stone might not be the highest grade spirit stone. Perhaps there are even higher grade spirit stones. It's just that the news overseas is blocked, and coupled with the restriction of strength, no one knows. Aunt Nalen is a direct disciple of the Hunyuan Heaven sect. and is also a member of the Vault of Heaven. She must know about the items above Peerless Great Spirit Stones. If I can use Peerless Great Spirit Stones to exchange for them. Thinking of this, Tsing did not hesitate and directly entered the Primal Chaos Shrine. He contacted Nalan Fei and requested to enter her personal space. Pak Hui, accompanied by the distortion of space, a clear voice sounded in his ear. What's the matter? It was Nalan Fei. Tsing Hui nodded. I would like to ask, what are the cultivation stones above Peerless Great Fire Spirit Stones? Is it possible to exchange for them? The cultivation stones above Peerless Great Fire Spirit Stones are spirit crystals. Usually, only saints use them. Spirit crystals are produced in many places, but the production is not high. They're usually monopolized by the 10 great saint sects. It's not easy to exchange for spirit crystals. Nalan Fei paused for a moment before a thought struck her. You want to use spirit crystals to cultivate? There's no need for that. Other than those top-tier treasures, Peerless Great Spirit Stones are the best choice for cultivation. I can't exchange for spirit crystals. Tsing Hui was a little disappointed. The news of spirit crystals had not spread. It seemed like it had nothing to do with the 10 great saints sects monopoly. You want to exchange for spirit crystals? It's not impossible, but you'll have to pay twice the price. It's not worth it. In Tianwang region, where trade is relatively free, the exchange rate between Peerless Great Spirit Stones and spirit crystals is 110. However, in Eastern Wilderness, the exchange rate is 200. Moreover, you can only exchange for a small amount of spirit crystals. Do you have connections? Yes, but it's very troublesome. I have 10,000 Peerless Grade Fire Spirit Stones. I want to exchange all of them for spirit crystals. Tsing Hui said, 10,000 Peerless Grade Fire Spirit Stones? What did you do? Did you rob an island guarded by an immortal stage for expert? Nalan Fei was shocked. It's just a coincidence. And might be able to exchange them for spirit crystals. 10,000 Peerless Grade Fire Spirit Stones for 50 Fire Spirit Crystals. It's not a large amount, but it's doable. All right, I'll ask Blazing Glory to make a trip to the mainland. Nalan Fei nodded. Just as she was about to say something, her personal space suddenly shook. It was as if a vast force was shaking her personal space, causing many items in her personal space to vibrate slightly. The sudden change caused Nalan Fei's expression to freeze. A war between Tianxiong and the other forces has broken out? A war between chaos? There are two types of battles between Sons of Chaos. One is a battle between individuals, and the other is a battle between groups. Even I'm affected by it. Clearly, this is a battle between organizations. We, Heaven's Vault, are fighting against other chaos organizations. The battle between chaos can only be started when someone who is at the 30th level of chaos buys a token of the Realm of Battle from the Chaos Treasure Pavilion. This is a meaningless battle. It can even be said that it's a cruel way for the Chaos Temple to recover Sons of Chaos. At this point, Nalan Fei hurriedly got to her feet. Tsing Hui, I have to find someone to ask what exactly happened that forced Tianxiong to go all out to wage a war between chaos. Tsing Hui nodded. However, Nalan Fei's words made Tsing Hui understand one thing. The chaos level could be passed down, but why did the number of Sons of Chaos in this world not keep increasing? It probably had something to do with the war between chaos before them. Retrieve the Sons of Chaos? How? Seeing that Nalan Fei had left, Tsing Hui's figure flashed, and he appeared in the Hall of Dawn. At this time, the people of Dawn were gathered in groups of 3 to 5 and chatting. The topic of their conversation was actually related to Tianxiong. Tsing Hui immediately stood at the side and listened. It seems that the higher-ups of Tianxiong are really angry this time. They actually didn't hesitate to wage a war between Tianxiong and Divine Punishment. This is a war that won't end until one side dies. I just don't know what level this war is on. It's time to teach those people from Divine Retribution a lesson. They're extremely arrogant, and quite a few of them have extremely bad reputations. More than once, they've killed Sons of Chaos and stolen Dao-bearing treasures in the name of business deals. They've most likely provoked Heaven's Dome, and they're unwilling to bow their heads. That's why Heaven's Dome is so angry. A war between chaos will do more harm than good to both chaos organizations. It's purely for revenge. All the sons of chaos on the losing side will be stripped of their chaos level and become ordinary people. The winning side won't get any benefits, and they'll have to spend 100 Dao aura points to buy a token of the world of battle. It's a battle of personal feelings. 100 Dao aura points. The total Dao aura points of all of us in Dawn are less than 100, right? After all, we usually have 2 or 3 Dao aura points on us. Only the big shots of top organizations like Hunyuan can afford such a high price. Chapter 125. As expected, it's a method of retrieving sons of chaos. The initiator has to spend 100 Taoist rhymes to buy the token of the realm of battle from the Chaos Treasure Pavilion. If they win, they won't get any rewards. If they lose, their chaos ranks will be stripped and they'll become ordinary people. Even the treasures stored in their personal space will be reduced to nothingness if they can't retrieve them in time. No wonder Nailin Fei was in such a hurry when she learned that Celestial Vault had started the War of Chaos. Tsing Hui listened for a moment and had a preliminary understanding of the War of Chaos. Heaven's Inquisition is here. Heaven's Inquisition. Do you have any specific information about the battle between Celestial Vault and Divine Punishment? These two organizations of chaos are among the most powerful organizations in our Chaos Temple. Why would a war suddenly break out between them? Once the war starts, it'll really be a terrible disaster. Based on the information from the Divine Mystery Pavilion, which of these two chaos organizations will win? At this moment, there was a burst of exclamations from the crowd. Everyone gathered around Heaven's Inquisition, who had a clear source of information. In fact, the outcome is already clear. Celestial Vault is stronger than Divine Punishment, and now they're prepared for the war and have accumulated a lot of Taoist rhymes. Unless Divine Punishment can get external help, or if they've angered Celestial Vault itself, they'll definitely lose. As Heaven's Inquisition spoke, he shook his head. The War of Chaos between the two organizations will have at least 10 participants. As far as I know, the 10 core members of Celestial Vault usually have more than 1,000 Taoist rhymes, and they're specially prepared for war. The average level of these 10 core members is level 25. As long as they set their participation level to level 25, even if Divine Punishment as the challenge party can choose to raise or lower their participation level by 1 chaos level and send Sons of Chaos above level 24 to fight, there'll still be no match for Celestial Vault in terms of numbers. It seems that there are less than 10 Sons of Chaos above level 24 in the entire Divine Punishment. Divine Punishment is done. The 10 core members are level 25. I like Celestial Vault's way of suppressing others. If Divine Punishment doesn't choose to adjust their participation level to level 24, the entire organization won't be able to gather 10 Sons of Chaos whose average level is level 25. They'll definitely lose. Indeed, Heaven's Inquisition nodded. The 4 great leaders are the best at Divine Punishment. 2 of them are at level 26, and 2 of them are at level 25. Since the 2 level 26 Sons of Chaos are overflowing, they can choose to replace them with 2 level 24 Sons of Chaos. Even so, the final result is 6 against 10. They're still unable to withstand a single blow. Maybe the Taoist rhymes of the Godly Punishment Tycoons have more than 2,000 Taoist rhymes. Someone joked. However, his words were quickly rebutted by someone else. Apart from those large chaos organizations that have to be prepared for the War of Chaos, who would choose not to upgrade their chaos level after having 200 Taoist rhyme points, and instead keep it as a precaution, the War of Chaos will last for 3 days at most. In order to collect enough Taoist aura points, the deity's punishment will definitely sell many treasures at a discounted price. It's a pity that the treasures from the deity's punishment will not be cheap even if they are discounted. That's true, well, this kind of thing is too far away for us. You don't have to discuss it too much. Just be careful and don't offend those great leaders who have level 30 Sons of Chaos. However, I believe that even if we offend them, they will not waste a token of the realm of battle that is worth 100 Taoist rhymes for a small organization like ours. Xingyao stepped forward and temporarily put an end to this topic. However, many people were still waiting for the answer of this war of chaos. Xing Hui similarly. Apart from cultivating, he also spared a part of his mind to watch the show and wait for the final result of this war of chaos. Just as the people of Dawn had guessed, divine punishment began to constantly sell off various treasures after being unable to withstand the attacks of Heaven's Dome, exchanging them for treasures that could carry the truth. For a moment, grade 12 and 13 Saint artifacts, Phoenix Essence Blood, Black Tortoise Essence Blood, and Azure Dragon Essence Blood were all thrown into the market. Ching Su even saw more than one exchange for the Essence Blood of the Golden Crow. Unfortunately, this kind of treasure was too expensive. With his 3 Taoist rhymes, he could not afford 2.5 drops of it. He could only learn from it. However, no matter how hard the deity's punishment tried to sell many treasures, it still could not reverse its fate of defeat. On the afternoon of the second day of the war, Nailin Fei returned to her personal space and invited Xing Hui in. She said in a relaxed mood, "It's over. The deity's punishment has been broken up. The 4 great leaders have been stripped of their chaotic level. It's a pity that they all ran away very quickly. Otherwise, without the enhancement of divine arts, talent, recovery, and other special abilities, the 4 great leaders would have all been killed. Unlike now, we only destroyed the large sect that they founded, the deity's punishment palace." Xing Hui nodded. A level 1 divine art could temporarily increase a cultivator's strength by 1 level. When it reached level 6, it could temporarily increase a cultivator's strength by 2 levels. This kind of secret technique could completely turn the tide of a battle if used at a critical moment. In addition, the resurrection technique used when one was at level 20 of chaotic level could also explode with amazing combat power. Think about it. It was not easy to kill an enemy at the peak of the saint level at a great cost, but he was resurrected immediately and returned to the battlefield. What a blow to the morale of the enemy. Because of this, having a primal chaos level and not having a primal chaos level were 2 completely different concepts. Why did Firmament and the deity's punishment start fighting? Some small conflicts have been accumulating. In addition, 3 days ago, the deity's punishment took in a traitor of Firmament. Our swordsmen went to hunt him down, but were repelled by the deity's punishment. This is the biggest provocation to Firmament. Because of this, the leaders of Firmament did not hesitate to go to war. The deity's punishment is really courting death. Firmament has been concealing our strength and biding our time, while the deity's punishment has been devouring all sides. The last few times we ignored them, they took an inch and wanted a mile. Now, they know the price they have to pay for offending us. At this point, Nailin Fei seemed to have thought of something. This matter should be over now. Contact me when you reach the inland. Okay. Xing Hui nodded. The 2 of them quickly left. Xing Hui returned to his room. He could not help but sigh as he recalled what he had seen and heard in Dawn these 2 days. So what if he was a 25th rank Son of Chaos? So what if he cultivated to the peak of the Saint Realm? In the end, wasn't he still killed by a colossus like Firmament? Even such a person would fall one day. This made him feel a sense of urgency from the bottom of his heart. I've already summoned Blazing Glory. In 3 to 5 days, he'll probably come to North Sea City with these supreme-grade fire spirit stones and head inland to exchange for spirit crystals. And now, the essence of the sun appeared in Xing Hui's hand. Heavenly treasure? The main purpose of heavenly treasures was to enhance one's cultivation. If one did not use them to enhance one's cultivation, what was the difference between them and sand? Immediately, the pure energy contained in the essence of the sun was continuously refined into his body. The essence of the sun was refined from absorbing the power of the sun. The golden crow was the spirit of the sun, also known as the sun golden crow. After obtaining the power of the essence of the sun, it immediately cheered happily. The golden crow chi in his body grew at a speed visible to the naked eye. The rate of growth was so fast that it far exceeded the rate of refining the core of the half-holy beast Jiuying's fire essence. One night, in just one night, Tsing Hui had completely refined the pure energy of the essence of the sun. No, it could not be called refining, but fusion. When the essence of the sun entered his body, it naturally integrated into his qi, causing the power of his golden crow qi to increase sharply. In one breath, it rose to the realm of perfection. It's really worthy of being the most precious treasure of the Jin Wu religion. If an ordinary cultivator were to use the essence of the sun, not only would they suffer from severe losses, it would also be difficult for them to move forward. A moment of carelessness would cause them to suffer from qi deviation. But for a cultivator who has cultivated the divine grade golden crow qi, it's a piece of cake. Tsing Hui was still not satisfied. The only shortcoming is that it's too little. My spirit has reached rank 46. Before reaching the peak of spirit refining realm, there won't be any bottlenecks. The only hurdle is the unity of spirit and qi. Rank 46 spirit is enough to cultivate the spirit grade aura to the unity of spirit and qi. Even if it's the divine grade aura, as long as it's polished to perfection and with the help of external forces, it's not difficult to advance. But the divine grade aura, without a spirit grade of 50, there's no hope of success. Taking a look at his stats, attack tier 41, defense tier 36, speed tier 39. In terms of stats, he's not inferior to a late-stage spirit refining cultivator. Especially his attack. It's already reached the unity of spirit and qi. However, when it comes to true qi, he has an innate advantage. Without using the Crimson Dragon Sword, his battle prowess can only be comparable to a peak spirit refining cultivator, or maybe even weaker. But once he uses the Crimson Dragon Sword, relying on the increase in his attack power, Prince Tsing Hui. At this moment, Dan Taiyu's voice came from outside the door. As Tsing Hui opened the door, Dan Taiyu seemed to have been waiting outside for a long time. Could it be that someone is causing trouble again? Are they not afraid of death? No. Young Master Ching Su, the chief caretaker of Dragon Whale Island, Lord Impermanence, has personally come to our North Sea city. It's said that the Dragon Whale Island Master likes the treasures my father offered him, so he's specially come to reward him. However, for some reason, he's heard of your deeds and wants to meet you. The chief steward of Long Whale Island, Zhuo Wuchang, he came to Beihai City to give a reward? That's right. This time, Father has gifted an extremely valuable nether space stone. The Dragon Whale Island Master needs this item for his cultivation. It seems that Father has given the right gift. This way, our North Sea city will be able to rest easy for the next 10 years. Dan Taiyu was somewhat happy. On the other hand, Tsing Hui muttered to himself. He felt that there was something wrong with this matter. Even if the island's master really liked the dark space stone presented by Dan Tai and wanted to send an envoy to reward him, he wouldn't send his most trusted chief steward Zhuo Wuchang. However, as for what's wrong, he'll have to meet Zhuo Wuchang to know. At this moment, he maintained his vigilance and nodded to Dan Taiyu before heading to the guest hall. If nothing unexpected happens, it'll be on the shelves tomorrow. Chapter 126. Tsing Hui, you're here. Let me introduce you. This is Lord Zhuo Wuchang from Dragon Whale City. In the living room, Dan Taiying saw Tsing Hui and Dan Taiyu arrive and hurriedly stood up to introduce them. You're Tsing Hui. Zhuo Wuchang, who was originally sitting, stood up and looked at Tsing Hui. After sizing him up, he nodded. Yes, it's you. If you want to blame someone, blame yourself for offending someone you can't afford to offend. As soon as he finished speaking, Zhuo Wuchang brazenly stepped forward. Aura, qi, gushed out from his body and poured into the sharp claws on his hands. With a claw, the air in the air was torn apart by his body. The terrifying speed of the claw caused the tables and chairs in the living room to fly. Sing Hui felt that something was wrong when Zhuo Wuchang specifically said that he wanted to meet him. He was on guard. When Zhuo Wuchang made his move, he was the first to react. The Crimson Dragon sword in his hand was unsheathed at a speed not slower than Zhuo Wuchang's. Clang! Sword chi soared to the sky. The moment the Crimson Dragon sword was unsheathed, it was like a volcanic eruption. Fiery red sword chi shot out from the scabbard at the same time, stunning the living room. In an instant, it turned into a blazing sword shadow that met Zhuo Wuchang's claw. The sword and the claw clashed, and a burst of dazzling sparks appeared in the void. Bursts of sword chi shot out in all directions, instantly tearing the tables and chairs that were sent flying into pieces. Even the sturdy floor was scratched with sword marks. The power of your chi is due to this sword? Good sword. This sword, I want it. Seeing that Sing Hui had actually blocked his claw, Zhuo Wuchang's eyes flashed. He once again pounced, trying to close the distance between the two. Seeing this scene, Dan Taiying was shocked. What's going on? Dan Taiying. Sing Hui is someone that the country lord personally ordered to be killed. Immediately order the spirit-refining cultivators of Beihai City to lock down the city lord's mansion. Do not let him escape. Zhuo Wuchang roared and pounced in front of Sing Hui. His sharp claws tore through the void, creating a series of phantoms. A large amount of Gang Qi was activated as he tore through the void, strangling Tsing Hui's figure. Even though Tsing Hui's sword was extremely fast, he was still forced to retreat. Otherwise, once Zhuo Wuchang, who uses short weapons, gets close, victory and defeat had been decided. Sister, damn it. Zhuo Wuchang is here for Sing Hui. Dan Taiying's face turned cold. However, her reaction was not slow. When she thought of the various miracles Sing Hui had displayed along the way, she decided to take a gamble like never before. Just as Zhuo Wuchang was about to close in on Sing Hui, she suddenly unsheathed her sword. Clang! The sword light was graceful. Zhuo Wuchang, who was about to bypass Sing Hui and attack Sing Hui with his Crimson Dragon sword, felt a biting cold sword light stabbing towards him. Before the sword arrived, the sharp intent had already caused a chill to run down his spine, forcing him to hurriedly turn around and grab the sword edge. Dan Taiying, you have guts to attack me. Are you trying to rebel? Zhuo Wuchang saw that the advantage he had just formed was once again lost and was unable to restrain his anger. However, Tan Taiying paid no attention to him. She immediately ordered Tan Taiying, gather all the experts in North Sea City who are above the true energy realm. Surround and kill him. At the same time, prepare to activate Beihai City's defensive cannons. Yes. In the end, Dan Taiying was the third miss of the Dantai family. After the initial shock, she quickly reacted and ran out. Good. Your Tantai clan is truly courting death. After I kill this kid, I'll definitely return to Northern Sea City and annihilate your Tantai clan until not a single one is left. Zhuo Wuchang was extremely furious. To the side, Sing Hui was also very surprised. He hadn't expected that Dan Taiying would actually choose to stand on the same side as him in the face of such a powerful enemy, like Dragon Whale Island's steward Zhuo Wuchang. However, now was clearly not the time to think about these details. I have no enmity with the Island Master. Why would he want to kill me? The Island Master has no enmity with you, but he was entrusted by someone. But there's no point in telling you this. A dead man doesn't need to know too much. Dead man? Wait until you can kill me first. As long as I don't die today, your Dragon Whale Island will be destroyed when I return with great cultivation. With that, Qing Su leapt up and charged out of the courtyard in a single instance. Afterwards, he rushed out of the city lord's estate as quickly as he could. Want to escape? Can you escape? Zhuo Wuchang's expression changed. He knew that Sing Hui had obtained many treasures. If he really converted those treasures into strength, he might really become a problem. He immediately chased after Sing Hui out of the courtyard. Assist the upper foreign delegates of Qing, Su ruins, and stop them. Dan Taiying chased out of the hall, and shouted at the guards who had heard the commotion. "No need." Sing Hui's voice sounded, and in the next moment, he disappeared in front of Dan Taiying. Without the guards blocking him, Zhuo Wuchang's speed exploded as he chased after Sing Hui and disappeared without a trace. "Damn it, big sister." Dan Taiyu saw that Dan Taiying was about to follow and hurriedly said, "Big sister, don't worry. Prince Sing Hui has a way to save his life." Huh. Dan Taiying was slightly startled, and there was a trace of surprise on her face, but she didn't slow down at all. "It seems that I made the right bet. Sing Hui really has other tricks up his sleeve, right? Tricks that can deal with experts of the syncretism of spirit and chi realm, right?" Big sister, seeing that Tantaiyin did not stop, Tantaiyu had no choice but to quickly follow up. "Let's not go over. We won't be of much help even if we go over. If he really reveals all his abilities, he will be able to resolve this crisis." "Silly girl, what do you know? It's because he can solve this crisis that we have to go there as fast as possible. We have to show him the sincerity of the Dantai family. For him, we have to stand behind him even if we have to fight against the entire Dragon Whale country. Only then can he really remember the kindness of the Dantai family. From now on, we will tie ourselves to his chariot and travel 1,000 miles in a day." "Air." Dan Taiyu was slightly startled. Obviously, she didn't expect that her big sister was chasing after him for this reason. While she was absent-minded, Dan Taiying had already rushed dozens of meters away. Dan Taiyu didn't have time to think about it anymore. She had to call out again, "Big sister, wait for me." Zhuo Wuchang and Sing Hui were both top-notch figures in the sea. With one chasing and the other fleeing at full speed, their speed wasn't any slower than a warship. In the blink of an eye, they had passed through a small part of North Sea City and rushed to the outside of the city. However, Zhuo Wuchang was an expert of the syncretism of spirit and chi realm after all. His speed, physical strength, and endurance were not something that Sing Hui could compare with. When Sing Hui burst out at full speed, he could still keep up with Zhuo Wuchang by constantly changing directions. However, when this burst of true chi ended, the distance between them was rapidly shortened. If it weren't for Zhuo Wuchang's altar and the sword chi of the Crimson Dragon Sword in his hand, he would have been caught up by Zhuo Wuchang. "Boy, let's see where you can run." Zhuo Wuchang growled and chased after him. Although the Crimson Dragon Sword in Sing Hui's hand made him feel apprehensive, making a target that he could have easily killed difficult to deal with, there wasn't the slightest hint of trouble on his face. Instead, his eyes were shining. A divine weapon of at least the 5th level. Even if this divine weapon was incompatible with the claw art he cultivated, it would still fetch a sky-high price if he sold it. Just for this divine weapon, this Cho Sing Hui had to die today. Sing Hui, who was running wildly ahead, saw Zhuo Wuchang chasing after him, and his expression gradually turned cold. He didn't understand why the Dragon Whale Island Lord wanted to kill him for no reason. But because of the existence of the Dragon Whale Island Lord, he couldn't directly kill Zhuo Wuchang with divine arts. Otherwise, once Zhuo Wuchang died and the Dragon Whale Island Lord came personally, he would have no choice but to flee. He was fine if he was alone, but the Dantai clan, who had blocked Zhuo Wuchang's path and were clearly on his side, would be in trouble, especially since Dan Tating and Dan Taiying were in Dragon Whale City. He couldn't take the Dantai clan with him even if he wanted to. Therefore, the best way was to leave the divine arts to the Dragon Whale Island Lord, and Zhuo Wuchang in front of him, swish. Sing Hui's figure was as fast as lightning in the wilderness. From time to time, he would turn around and slash with his sword. Sword chi would erupt, and the crimson sword light would shoot out like rays of laser light, forcing Zhuo Wuchang, who had finally caught up with him, to wave his hand and counterattack. His figure slowed down, and the distance between them widened again. The two of them chased and fled like this. In the blink of an eye, they had already traveled over 100 kilometers, and a small lake suddenly appeared in front of them. "Boy, you can't escape. Your chi isn't weak, but in terms of endurance, how can it compare to me, a spirit and chi unity stage expert? Surrender obediently, and I can give you a quick death." Otherwise, once you fall into my hands, I'll let you know what it means to beg for death. Zhuo Chang, who asked your dragon whale island to kill me? There's no harm in telling you. The Hunyuan heaven sect sent Zhang Jiuxiao to ask the island lord to kill you. Hunyuan heaven sect's true disciple. You don't have much ability, but you entered a good sect and are rich. Remember to find a reliable backer in your next life. Ying Xiang. After Zhuo Wuchang finished speaking, he took advantage of Tsing Hui's slight distraction when he learned about the person who wanted to kill him to activate a secret technique. His speed exploded, and he inconceivably crossed the distance of 30 to 40 meters between the two of them. A claw that tore through the void brazenly slashed down. Eagle whistle. Starfire flowing light. Bang! Blazing flames exploded in the void once again. Shock waves that could be seen with the naked eye swept out and turned into raging flames, burning the flowers and plants on the ground to ashes. As the flames scattered, Tsing Hui's body flew backward, 3 streaks of blood appearing on his chest. Eagle soars 100 li. However, the moment Qing Su was sent flying, a long whistle rang out right after. Zhuo Wuchang strode through the air as if he had shrunk the ground, catching up to Qing Su in a single instance. He slammed his hand down heavily once again, tearing through space. Bang! Metal and iron clashed. Tsing Hui was sent flying again, and he borrowed the force to twist his body and plunge into the lake. Foolish beyond compare. Your fire attribute stellar energy can still fight with me on the shore, but now you're trying to escape into the lake? You're courting death. Zhuo Wuchang roared out. In the next moment, he actually followed Qing Su closely and charged into the lake. And then, there was no then. Chapter 127. Just as Zhuo Wuchang chased Tsing Hui into the lake, a behemoth hidden in the depths of the lake brazenly bit out. This is Zhuo Wuchang, who had just entered the water, felt his mind go blank when he saw the behemoth abruptly emerge from the bottom of the lake. The violent shock impacted his mind, and he wished his brain could explode. Xuanwu, Xuanwu, this is one of the 6 saints, Xuanwu. No. As Zhuo Wuchang screamed in shock, the powerful water control caused the water pressure around him to soar to the extreme, and he couldn't move at all. Gee, the next moment, the giant python behind Xuanwu had already bitten his body. Blood immediately dyed the bottom of the lake red. Voila! Wave splashed. Tsing Hui's figure followed closely into the lake. Seeing that Xuanwu had already bitten Zhuo Wuchang to death, his emotions didn't fluctuate too much. This wasn't the first time a Unity of Spirit stage expert had died in front of him. Moreover, Tsing Hui, who had many trump cards, had never regarded Zhuo Wuchang as a real threat. Not to mention the divine art he could use, just the superior level 4 flying sword, Azure Mystic, was enough to make him invincible. Bu is really like a ghost. I've already temporarily hidden overseas, but she still chased after me. She even asked the Dragon Whale Island Lord to kill me. Does she really think that I won't dare to kill her just because she's a true disciple of the Hunyuan Heaven Sect? Tsing Hui's expression gradually turned cold, and he immediately made up his mind. After dealing with the Dragon Whale Island Lord, he would directly go inland and use Nailin phase channels to exchange for some fire spirit crystals, and then kill Bu once and for all. As for the Hunyuan Heaven Sect's pursuit, overseas, the heavens were high and the Emperor was far away. They couldn't care that far. Boss, I'm bored to death staying in this small lake. I'm still a baby, and I'm still growing. At this time, I need to exercise more. I need to swim in the sea and hunt for sea creatures to train my body. Only then can I grow faster. Otherwise, that's right. The pitiful voice of Xuanwu Cub came from below. However, Tsing Hui couldn't be bothered to listen to its nonsense. I'll allow you to swim to the lake outside North Sea City. That lake is a little bigger than this one, and you could stay there. No, I want to go to the ocean. The ocean is the home of us holy beasts. I'm not a tortoise or a turtle. Why should I stay in a small pond inland? If you keep talking nonsense, I'll kill you and refine your blood essence. Sing Hui reprimanded Xuanwu cub. He had already understood that this Xuanwu cub had obviously been led astray by some sea beasts. It was the kind of person who wouldn't stop until it was beaten. Following his reprimand, the Xuanwu cub immediately became obedient. It just looked at Sing Hui with a pitiful expression, as if it wanted to cry but didn't dare to. It was as if Sing Hui had done something to it that would incur the wrath of heaven and man. Go to the lake. I'll tell you if there's anything else. At this time, Sing Hui also regretted not killing the Xuanwu cub to refine its blood essence. After all, a level 4 Xuanwu wouldn't be of much help to him. If he wanted to wait for it to evolve to level 5, it would take at least 20 to 30 years. After 20 to 30 years, not to mention a level 4 Xuanwu, even if a level 6 or level 7 Overlord of the Sea came, he might not be able to take it seriously. The Xuanwu cub seemed to have sensed Sing Hui's thoughts through the contract. Its originally pitiful appearance immediately disappeared, and it hurriedly swore solemnly. Boss's words are a task that I'll do my best to complete. If boss tells me to go west, I won't go east. If boss tells me to be a vegetarian, I won't eat people. I'll go to the lake now. As soon as he finished speaking, he dived into the lake and disappeared. Sing Hui went forward and checked the spoils of war. Storage treasures were only widely available in the Saint Realm. Zhuo Wuchang was at the syncretism of spirit and qi stage, and he was also an overseas cultivator who had nowhere else to go. Naturally, it was impossible for him to have such a treasure. Apart from a level 4 god weapon Sharp Claw and a level 3 medium soft armor, he didn't have anything good. As for the level 3 medium soft armor, it had been completely destroyed by the Xuanwu cub's bite. A level 4 god weapon. If I sell it, it's worth about 300,000 spirit stones. If I exchange it for spirit stones, it's worth about 2,000 spirit stones. Sing Hui put the god weapon into his personal space and turned to head in the direction of North Sea City. After traveling less than 10 kilometers, he saw two people coming quickly, one in front and one behind. When the two of them arrived, more than 30 figures appeared behind them. They were Dan Taiying and Dan Taiyu, leading a group of true energy stage cultivators to support them. Sing Hui's gaze swept across these people. Although these true energy stage cultivators were of no use in a battle between syncretism of spirit and qi stage cultivators, and the sword qi that spilled out could kill them, but Sing Hui more or less understood Dan Taiying's thoughts. This Dan Taiying has some guts. The pressure from the Dragon Whale Island Lord is not so easy to resist. After saying that, Sing Hui couldn't help but have an idea in his mind. After killing Baiyu, it wouldn't be good for him to stay on the mainland. Moreover, he had to find a safe place to settle down overseas. Before killing Baiyu, he still had to go to Dragon Whale City to kill the Dragon Whale Island Lord. Once the Dragon Whale Island Lord died, this island would immediately become ownerless. I'll choose Dragon Whale Island then. I don't have much time to think about managing Dragon Whale Island. I'll let the Dan Tai clan take full responsibility. With that thought, Sing Hui went up to Dan Taiying and Dan Taiyu. Sing Hui, are you all right? Are you injured? Dan Taiying didn't ask about Zhuo Wuchang first. Instead, he was concerned about Sing Hui. On the other hand, Dan Taiyu seemed to think of something when she saw this familiar place, and her eyes lit up slightly. I'm fine. All right. There's no need to mobilize so many people to avoid causing a commotion in North Sea City. Since Sing Hui had already decided to head to Dragon Whale City to kill the Dragon Whale Island Lord, there was no need to hide his true strength anymore. He immediately said, I've already killed Zhuo Wuchang. You can just return. You don't need to worry about anything here. I'll make a trip to Dragon Whale City and kill the Dragon Whale Island Lord again to solve the problem of Dragon Whale Island once and for all. Zhuo Wuchang is dead. Head to Dragon Whale City to kill the Dragon Whale Island Lord. Although Dan Taiying had guessed that Sing Hui's true strength wasn't limited to this, she still couldn't help but gasp when he revealed his true strength. The Dragon Whale Island Lord. That was the Dragon Whale Island Lord ranked 633rd on the Divine Dragon ranking. However, Based on Tsing Hui's tone earlier, this mighty unity of God realm expert, ranked 633rd on the Divine Dragon ranking, seemed to be able to kill him just like that. If this was true, then just how powerful was he? North Sea City actually got to know such a god by chance. All right, I remember that other than Zhuwu Chang, there's another Divine Dragon Whale Island Lord who's at Wave City. Is there a way for him to head to Dragon Whale City with us? The City Lord of Billow City. If you can really kill the Lord of Dragon Whale Island, Sir Ching Su, your strength must be extraordinary. If that's the case, it won't be a problem to kill Yin Tao, Enlightened Master. As Dan Taiying spoke, she no longer dared to address Tsing Hui as casually as before. Oh, why? Although Enlightened Master Yin Tao is one of the 3 Divine Dragon Whale Island Lords, he doesn't have much of a sense of belonging to Dragon Whale Island. No matter who occupies this island, as long as they don't infringe on his interests, he won't interfere. Moreover, he awakened the rare plant soul, so he's not much of a threat. Plant soul? Plants can also be considered a type of bloodline. Among the 18 divine beast bloodlines, 6 of them are plants and mystical creatures. However, the number of people who awaken these bloodlines is too small, less than 1 in 10,000. This is also the reason why some people say there are only 12 types of divine beast bloodlines. Dan Taiying added, because these bloodlines aren't good at killing, many of them have already gone extinct. There are only records of them in history. Ching Su nodded when he heard that. If Enlightened Master Yin Tao really wasn't a threat, there was no harm in letting him go. If he was a threat, at most he would have to wait for half a month for the divine art to cool down. Fine, I'll head to Dragon Whale City now. As soon as Ching Su said that, he waved his hand and summoned his flying sword. Flying sword? Seeing the Qing Xian sword hovering in front of Tsing Hui, Dan Taiying felt that Tsing Hui was even more unfathomable. However, she seemed to have thought of something and gritted her teeth. Prince Tsing Hui plans to head to Dragon Whale City on his flying sword. That's right, Zhuo Wuchang is already dead. To prevent the Dragon Whale Island Lord from escaping in advance, I naturally have to go. Young master, please bring me along. Oh, Tsing Hui's gaze landed on Dan Taiying. Why? It's a critical period for Dragon Whale Island's treasure offering assembly. I'm afraid that apart from Enlightened Master Yun Tao, all the other city lords of Dragon Whale Island are in Dragon Whale City. If Prince Tsing Hui can kill the Dragon Whale Island Lord, he only needs to create some momentum to control the entire Dragon Whale Island and become the new ruler of Dragon Whale Island. Our North Sea City is willing to follow Prince Tsing Hui everywhere and cheer for Prince Tsing Hui. You want to seize the opportunity to control Dragon Whale Island, right? Tsing Hui immediately saw through Dan Taiying's true thoughts. After spending some time together, he already had a good understanding of Dan Tai's 2 sisters. The younger sister, Dan Taiyu, was inexperienced and still retained the innocence of a young girl. However, the older sister, Dan Taiying, she was quite impressive. If she had a son and was given the opportunity to rise, she would definitely become a formidable person. However, he, who wanted to control Dragon Whale Island, needed such ambitious and capable people. Prince Tsing Hui, our Dantai clan knows our limits. Our Dantai clan definitely isn't qualified to become the ruler of Dragon Whale Island. The only one who can sit firmly on the throne of Dragon Whale Island is Prince Tsing Hui. Our Dantai clan only wants to be Prince Tsing Hui's vassals. Fine, since you've asked, I'll bring you to Dragon Whale City. The nearby Dan Taiyu, upon seeing this, felt rather confused. Why did it seem that in such a short period of time, her older sister, Dan Taiying, had already led the entire Dantai clan to join Tsing Hui? To join this man who had just been an upper guest elder of their Dantai clan not long ago? The situation had changed too quickly, so quickly that she couldn't react in time. Time was of the essence, and Dan Taiying didn't explain too much to his younger sister. He only instructed, "Younger sister, bring Beigong Xiao and the others back to North Sea City and maintain order in North Sea City to prevent anyone from taking the opportunity to cause trouble. I'll follow Prince Tsing Hui to Dragon Whale City now. The future of our Dantai clan will be bet on this trip to Dragon Whale City. It's on the shelf, it's on the shelf. The outbreak has begun. In the future updates, there will be all sorts of irregular updates and irregular outbreak modes. Requesting support. Chapter 128. City Lord, something's wrong. Dragon Whale City, Dan Tating's courtyard. Wu Yu came to Dan Tating's room with a solemn expression. I just walked around and found that the guards of our courtyard have changed from 2 True Chi Realm captains and 10 Awakening Realm guards to 4 Spirit Refining Realm and 20 True Chi Realm experts. Moreover, I know one of the 4 Spirit Refining Realm experts. His name is Wan Bo, and he's a Jinhai guard personally trained by the Dragon Whale Emperor. You mean, we might be under surveillance? How is that possible? This is the capital of the Dragon Whale Empire. Who dares to be rude to me? Dan Tating, a governor. Before Dan Tating could finish his words, he seemed to have thought of something. His expression changed. Jinhai guard personally trained by the Dragon Whale Emperor. Are you saying that the one who wants to deal with me is the Dragon Whale Emperor? I also find it hard to believe. Not long ago, I purposely went to the courtyards of the other city lords. There is nothing unusual in those courtyards. Dan Tating's expression suddenly became unsightly. The Dragon Whale Emperor wants to deal with me? How is that possible? I didn't offend the Dragon Whale Emperor in any way. I should pay the same amount of taxes every time. This time, in order to get first place in the Treasure Presentation Assembly, I even tried to buy a space netherstone. Why would the Emperor want to deal with me? No, I have to go and ask. Master, please calm down. I might have seen wrongly. Wu Yu hurriedly said. At this time, Dan Taing walked in from outside and said strangely, Father, when I was about to leave the courtyard to visit a good friend, I was told by the guards that a vicious person had sneaked into the Dragon Whale City with evil intentions. Those guards forbade us from leaving the courtyard. Even if we want to leave, we have to be followed by them personally. What happened? Hearing Dan Taiying's words, Wu Yu and Dan Tating, who thought that there might be a misunderstanding, both darkened their faces. The monarch has indeed sent someone to spy on us. But why is that? This won't do. Wu Yu, go and investigate what's going on. Good. I'm on my way. Wu Yu responded cautiously before heading out of the courtyard. But at this moment, a long sword pierced through the air. A dazzling streak of sword light pierced through Dragon Whale City like a rainbow piercing through the sun. In the blink of an eye, it was in the direction of the city lord's manor. Standing in the air, the figure on the graceful sword raised his divine sword and slashed down. The dazzling sword light turned into a dazzling radiance that pierced through the core area of the Longjing City Lord's mansion. Under the onslaught of the sword chi, the originally majestic mansion of the City Lord's mansion only lasted for a moment before collapsing. Dragon Whale Island Master, come out and accept your death. With a slash of his sword, the figure standing in the air let out a long howl. His voice traveled hundreds of miles, shocking all the cultivators in Dragon Whale City. Who is it? They actually killed their way to Dragon Whale Island? Standing in the air? A green Hell Realm warrior? No, it was a flying sword. Someone was actually riding a flying sword? Could it be that the Dragon Whale Island Master offended some great figure? SSS, destroying the City Lord's mansion with a single slash. Is he trying to fight to the death with the Dragon Whale Island Master? Spirit Refining and True Chi Realm cultivators rushed out of their courtyards one after another. They stared at the destroyed main hall of the city Lord's estate in shock. This voice, why does it sound like our Beihai City's high guest Singhui? In the courtyard, Dantai Eagle heard the shouts in the air and called out in puzzlement. It doesn't seem like it. It's our Beihai City's Sing Hui King. Not only Sing Hui King, eldest Miss is also here. She and Sing Hui King are standing in the air together. Outside the courtyard, Wu Yu's incredulous voice could be heard. Dan Tating and Dantai Eagle were slightly startled. In the next moment, the two of them rushed out at the same time, just in time to see Tsing Hui and Dan Taiying in the air. For a moment, their faces turned green with fright. Crazy. Crazy. Tsing Hui, is he crazy? It's fine if he's crazy, but he actually brought our Dantai clan with him. It's over. It's over. Now that we've offended the Dragon Whale Island Master, our Dantai clan is completely finished. Dantai Eagle looked at Tsing Hui in the air and gritted his teeth. His face was filled with panic and fear. No wonder the Lord of Longjing City sent people to monitor our courtyard. The only thing we can do now is to take advantage of the fact that the Lord of Longjing Island and the others are distracted by him and kill our way out of the encirclement as quickly as possible. Every single one of us who can escape is one life. Our Tantai clan cannot be exterminated in my hands. Although Dan Tating's face was filled with hatred, he was decisive. On the other hand, Wu Yu looked at Tsing Hui and Dan Taiying, who didn't seem to be panicking at all. Instead, there was a trace of excitement on his face. He hurriedly stopped them and said, "Wait a moment, things might not be as bad as we think. Eldest Miss isn't an impulsive person. If there wasn't a special reason, she wouldn't have followed Tsing Hui to Dragon Whale City." Dan Tating naturally knew his eldest daughter well. It was just that the scene just now had a huge impact on him, causing him to lose his composure for a moment. Now that he had calmed down and thought about it carefully, his eyes immediately lit up. The corpse of that class 4 half-saint beast, Jiuing, came about strangely. I asked you but you was unwilling to give me an explanation. Don't tell me. This Ching Su is actually a colossal figure who has been hiding his strength all this while, someone who possesses the strength to kill a class 4 half-saint beast. Jiuing. Rumble. Right at this moment, a round ball suddenly soared into the air and exploded, turning into a transparent barrier that enveloped Tsing Hui and a small portion of the City Master's mansion. In the next moment, the Dragon Whale Island Lord exerted force on his feet and shot out of the City Master's mansion like an arrow. Before he arrived, the terrifying and majestic aura of a unity of divine Qi expert had already swept out violently. As he clenched his fist, a terrifying giant beast appeared in the air. It seemed capable of swallowing the world, and the airflow in the air was about to explode and shatter. Junior, how dare you behave so atrociously in my Dragon Whale City? Do you really think that I can't do anything to you just because you have a flying sword? Die. The Dragon Whale Island Lord roared with a majestic aura. However, before his strike that could shatter space could completely crush Ching Su, a presence that was even more terrifying than the Lord of Dragon Whale Island himself erupted from his body. Clang! The moment he used the divine art, Tsing Hui raised the crimson dragon sword in his hand, Ka. There seemed to be the cry of a divine beast in the air. Behind Tsing Hui, a golden crow spread its wings. Scorching and domineering waves of heat exploded in the form of light, illuminating the surrounding dozens of li. In everyone's eyes, it was as if a blazing sun was slowly rising. Golden Crow. Golden Crow. It's the great sun Golden Crow. Shouts that were far more intense than before suddenly erupted from the crowd. Heavens, what kind of technique does this person cultivate to be able to summon the Golden Crow? Could it be the supreme technique of the Jin Wu religion, the great sun Golden Crow technique? This kind of power is something that only divine-grade stellar energy cultivators can possess. No matter how powerful the Dragon Whale Island Lord's cultivation is, how can he contend with a top genius who is worthy of being called a holy son by the 10 great sacred sects? It's over. The Dragon Whale Island Lord is finished. No, the Dragon Whale Island Lord, who had wanted to charge out to show off his might, turned pale when he saw Tsing Hui use such a terrifying killing move. Damn it, this is a true Qi cultivator. Zhang Jiuxiao, you dare to harm me. Rumble. A moment later, Tsing Hui's golden crow sword erupted like a blazing sun. Boundless golden light instantly dispersed the Dragon Whale Island Lord's Dragon Whale Island Lord's Dragon Whale Island Lord's divine ability that had sealed the space around him. One sword shattering all laws. Not only that, after this sword tore apart the Dragon Whale Island Lord's spatial shredding and shattered the Dragon Whale Island Lord's essence, energy, and soul, it continued onward. The vast destructive power contained within it was like the end of the world as it enveloped the Dragon Whale Island Lord. Boom! Sparks exploded. The Dragon Whale Island Lord's stellar energy dissipated, his armor shattered, and he crashed into the ground like a cannonball. The ground around him seemed to be the surface of a lake that had a pebble thrown into it. It sank slightly, and then it suddenly tore apart, sweeping up dust and pebbles in all directions. Thus, having gained the upper hand, Tsing Hui did not give the Dragon Whale Island Lord any time to catch his breath. He became one with his sword and stabbed down. The Crimson Dragon's sword's sword light tore through the dust and once more tore apart the ground. Stop! Stop! The Dragon Whale Island Lord spat out a mouthful of blood as he weakly called out. A terrifying sword mark had slashed his body just now, almost cutting him into two. Tsing Hui remained unmoved. He leaped forward and landed in front of the Dragon Whale Island Lord. Don't kill me. I have no enmity with you. I only did what I was asked to do. Zhang Jiuxiao used the Black Hole Sutra's Awakening chapter to invite me, which is why I offended you. If I had known that Lord Tsing Hui had such ability, I would not have dared to offend you even if I had 10,000 guts. Zhang Jiuxiao is in my residence. I am willing to personally kill him, and then I will use all my wealth to apologize to you. Swish! Before the Dragon Whale Island Lord could finish speaking, Tsing Hui suddenly attacked with his sword. You! Under his terrified, stunned, and unwilling gaze, the Dragon Whale Island Lord's begging came to an abrupt end. Take care of this, Tsing Hui said to Dan Taiying, then leaped into the air and charged towards the city lord's residence. Before the effects of the divine art ended, he needed to use his absolute strength to suppress all discontent on Dragon Whale City. When Tan Taiying saw how the island lord had been slain by a single strike of Qing Su's sword, she felt all her blood boil at the same time. She could not help but blush with a sense of comfort she had never felt before. Dead, dead. The Dragon Whale Island Lord was dead. He had died at Tsing Hui's hands. From this day onwards, Dragon Whale Island belonged to Tsing Hui. Because she had chosen to side with him in time, the Dantai family was now completely tied to Tsing Hui. If Dragon Whale Island belonged to Tsing Hui, it was the same as belonging to the Dantai family. When the time came, the Dantai family would become the largest family on Dragon Whale Island. Chapter 129. Ina, Big Sister. What the hell is going on? Dan Taiying had just collected the valuables on the Dragon Whale Island Lord's body when Dan Taiying, Wu Yu, and a group of North Sea City experts rushed over to the City Lord's manor. Dan Taiying and Wu Yu, who had already guessed something, couldn't suppress the excitement and anticipation on their faces even though they had been through countless storms. Dan Taiying looked at the people from North Sea City. I believe Father and Chief Steward have already guessed what happened. After saying that, she nodded vigorously. It's exactly as you guessed. Dan Taiying felt his heart twitch violently. He couldn't help but cover his chest with his hand. Really? The Dragon Whale Island Lord's corpse is even here. How can it be fake? Tan Taiying glanced at the Dragon Whale Island Lord who had already breathed his last with excitement on her face. Young Master Qing, Su has no relatives or friends on Dragon Whale Island. If he wants to rule Dragon Whale Island completely, he'll have to rely on our North Sea City's strength. Father and the general manager know better than me what this means. Soon, our North Sea City and our Tantai clan will become an existence that's second only to one and above all on Dragon Whale Island. Good. That's great. We couldn't help but say good 3 times in a row. His aged face was filled with excitement. It's a pity that we didn't have time to improve our relationship with Sing Hui before he truly displayed his value. Otherwise, our Dantai family's future would really be limitless. Dan Taiying was excited for a moment, but also felt a little regretful. Dan Tating was the same. If I had known this would happen, I would have listened to your advice and handed that fire attribute treasure to him. No, it's not too late for us to express our stance now. Not only do we have to prove our value, we have to do it quickly. Otherwise, when those city lords who have yet to recover from the shock of the change in ownership see the situation clearly, our North Sea city might not be able to hold much of an advantage. After all, there are 4 or 5 factions on Dragon Whale Island that are stronger than our North Sea city. I especially want to look for that treasure that you hid, but I couldn't find it. If we could give that treasure to him before then, our Dantai family's position in Sing Hui's will definitely be impregnable. However, it's too late to say that now. What we can do is do our best to help Prince Sing Hui manage Dragon Whale Island well. As long as we can do that, our Dantai family's position on Dragon Whale Island will be unshakable. Our position on Dragon Whale Island. As long as we can do that, as long as we can, Prince Clan's Dantai, no one will family status on Dragon Whale Island's island families on Prince families that. Not bad. Dan Tatings. This favor could only be considered as giving their North Sea city an early advantage. If they really wanted to stabilize their position, they would have to depend on their North Sea city's performance. Immediately, Dan Tating hurriedly ordered, immediately surround the city lord's mansion. Prince Sing Hui will personally deal with those cultivators that the Dragon Whale Island Master trusts the most. However, we can't let the others off either. Immediately send the news to the other city lords. Have them lead their troops to kill those subduing sea guards loyal to the Dragon Whale Island Master, as well as Skywater City and Dragon Roar City. The subduing sea guards, Skywater City, and Dragon Roar City were all trusted subordinates of the Dragon Whale Island Master. Only by eliminating the subduing sea guards and suppressing Skywater City and Dragon Roar City would they be able to truly unify Dragon Whale Island. I'll personally go and pass the order. We said in a deep voice, "Go." Many people witnessed the death of the Dragon Whale Island Master. It's time for them to make their stance clear. I believe that those city lords will make the right choice between remaining loyal to the Dragon Whale Island Master and changing their allegiance to the new Island Master. Dan Tating sternly ordered. As Dan Tating gave the order, Sing Hui swept through the Dragon Whale Island Master's residence with the might of the divine art. As the owner of the Dragon Whale Island, the Dragon Whale Island Master's influence was far from what North Sea City could compare to. Just the Dragon Whale Island Master's residence alone had more than 40 spirit refining cultivators and hundreds of true chi cultivators serving under him. Unfortunately, ordinary spirit refining cultivators were no match for Sing Hui, who was currently using the divine art. Even if Sing Hui was in his ordinary form, defeating them would only take some time. Under such circumstances, he stepped on the corpses of more than 10 spirit refining cultivators and killed his way to the core of the Dragon Whale Island Master's residence. There, Zhang Jiuxiao, who represented Fairy Bayou, heard the screams coming from outside the Dragon Whale Island Master's residence and felt that something was amiss. Just as he was about to escape, Sing Hui's figure leaped and blocked his path. Zhang Jiuxiao. As one of Fairy Bayou's most capable left and right-hand men, Zhang Jiuxiao had seen his image before. At the same time, Zhang Jiuxiao naturally recognized Sing Hui. Seeing Sing Hui actually appear in front of him, he, who had already guessed that the situation was not good, turned pale with fright. "How are you fine?" The Dragon Whale Island Master. Didn't the Dragon Whale Island Master personally take action? How did you? Since I'm here, there's no need to say what will happen to the Dragon Whale Island Master. I didn't go find by you to settle the score, but instead, you delivered yourself to me. You can't blame me. Seeing that even the Dragon Whale Island Master was no match for him, Zhang Jiuxiao suddenly trembled and immediately offered up a book. "Prince Sing Hui, I'm willing to use the Hunyuan Heaven Sect sacred scripture, the Black Hole Scripture, to exchange for my life." I ask that Prince Sing Hui be merciful and give me a way out. If Prince Sing Hui is willing to accept me, I, Zhang Jiuxiao, am willing to be at Gongzi's beck and call. I know that Baiyu has many secrets. If Gongzi gives me a chance, I'm willing to hand over all these secrets. When the time comes, Baiyu's reputation will be ruined. Even without Gongzi doing anything, the Hunyuan Heaven Sect's Law Enforcement Division will personally tear her to pieces. And Sing Hui's heart stirred. Baiyu would undoubtedly die. But if he killed Baiyu, with her identity as a true disciple of the Hunyuan Heaven Sect, unless he cultivated to the peak of the immortality stage, he would be a wanted criminal when he returned to the mainland. Even his Zhua family and Nalan Fei would be affected to some extent. But if he did as Zhang Jiuxiao said, exposing Baiyu's weakness and causing her reputation to be ruined, the Hunyuan Heaven Sect's Law Enforcement Division would undoubtedly be the easiest and most convenient way. The Black Hole Scripture's Awakening chapter was the best evidence. How can I believe you? When the Dragon Whale Island Lord excavated an ancient ruin, he found a bottle of pills by chance. It's called the Soul Dispersing Pill. This pill can only be activated by injecting a trace of spirit energy into it. Once consumed, it will subtly change a person's thoughts and make them loyal to the person who injected the pill with spirit energy. The Dragon Whale Island Lord relied on this pill to subdue 2 experts of the same level as him, while he was still at the spirit and chi unison stage. He also made Zhuo Wuchang loyal to him and willingly serve him. If Yin Tao hadn't awakened a special bloodline and had a strong resistance to pills, he probably would have been reduced to a servant of the Dragon Whale Island Lord. Even so, Yin Tao still has a good impression of the Dragon Whale Island Lord. As long as the Dragon Whale Island Lord's orders aren't too excessive, he'll carry them out faithfully. Speaking of this, Zhang Jiuxiao smiled bitterly and added, 80 years ago, when I was still at the true Qi stage, I once explored the ruins with the Dragon Whale Island Lord, so I understand these things very well. Unfortunately, the Dragon Whale Island Lord at that time relied on his spirit refining cultivation to occupy all the treasures in the ruins. I estimate that he must have relied on the treasures in the ruins to reach the spirit and Qi unity stage. Oh, so that's how it is. Sing Hui also felt a little strange. Why was the Dragon Whale Island Lord able to make Zhuo Wuchang so loyal, even though his cultivation was slightly higher than Zhuo Wuchang's? He originally thought that the rumors were true and that the Dragon Whale Island Lord had saved his life back then. A pill that could change one's consciousness. Truly extraordinary. Where is the pill? I'll bring you there now. Zhang Jiuxiao guessed that he had probably managed to survive, so he hurriedly responded politely. He brought Qing Su to the master of the Dragon Whale Island's bedroom, and after searching for a while, he returned with a bottle of pills very soon. There's only 2 left? There were only 5 pills in this bottle when it was unearthed. He obviously used 2 of them on Zhuo Wuchang and Yun Tao. Zhang Jiuxiao's tone became a little lower as he said uneasily, a spirit and Qi unity stage cultivator's soul is strong. Spirit and Qi unity, as well as the heart and spirit, would have some resistance to this kind of pill. I'm guessing that the Dragon Whale Island Lord must have given Zhuo Wuchang 2 spirit-scattering pills, which allowed Zhuo Wuchang to follow his orders without hesitation. Is that so? When Qing Su heard that, he found it rather a pity. Wouldn't it be better if that Dragon Whale Island Lord had taken out this elixir earlier? At that time, Mo Wuji might have spared his life. In any case, Mo Wuji was a spirit and Qi Unity realm expert. With him overseeing the Dragon Whale Island, it would be much safer than letting the Tantai clan rule over the Dragon Whale Island. All right, I won't let you take the pill. Quite a few people know that you brought the Black Hole Sutra to Long Whale Island in an attempt to give it to the Island Master. Once this matter is leaked, the Hunyuan Heaven Sect won't take this line down. At that time, regardless of whether you secretly read the Black Hole Sutra or not, they'll definitely send a law enforcement elder to hunt you down. If you don't want to die, you'd better behave. Yes. I understand. I, Zhang Jiuxiao, am only siding with Baiyu for the sake of my future. I want to obtain resources and better cultivation from her. Now that young Master Ching Su has taken over Dragon Whale Island, he's already a ruler. He's already accomplished so much at such a young age, so his future is limitless. Following young Master Ching Su might even become the greatest fortuitous encounter of my life. Under these circumstances, as long as I'm not blind, I definitely won't be disloyal to young Master Ching Su. Zhang Jiuxiao solemnly vowed. Please rest assured, Prince Tsinghui, time will prove my loyalty. Is that so? I hope you won't disappoint me. Tsinghui naturally wouldn't believe any of Zhang Jiuxiao's words. However, Zhang Jiuxiao still had some value that he could make use of. As for not letting Zhang Jiuxiao take the soul-dispersing pill, it would be a pity to waste such a pill that could control a spirit and Qi Unity Stage expert on a spirit-refining cultivator like Zhang Jiuxiao. Chapter 130. City Lord Mansion's Side Hall. Tsing Hui slowly walked into the hall that had been cleaned up. In an instant, the spirit-refining cultivators who were originally sitting in the hall stood up. All kinds of surprised, respectful, and fearful gazes landed on him. Fellow colleagues, this is Prince Tsing Hui, the new lord of this country. It was him who killed the Dragon Whale Island's lord not long ago, saving everyone from the dark and cruel rule of the Dragon Whale Island's lord. As Tsing Hui sat down, Dan Tating introduced Tsing Hui's identity. Although these city lords could see that Tsing Hui was young and did not seem like an expert, many of them had seen Tsing Hui's incomparably high-profile feat of riding on a flying sword and killing the Dragon Whale Island's lord. Even if they were shocked by his young age, they did not dare to delay and quickly bowed. Greetings to Prince Tsing Hui. Many thanks to Prince Tsing Hui for saving me. Seeing more than half of the city lords bowing, in addition to the spirit-refining cultivators who had witnessed the battle, the other city lords quickly suppressed the doubts in their hearts and bowed. Tsing Hui's gaze swept across these city lords and spirit-refining cultivators. Those who had witnessed the scene of him killing the Dragon Whale Island's lord hurriedly lowered their heads. Their hearts were filled with reverence, not daring to look at him. However, there were still more than half of them who had not experienced that scene and were curious. A few of them even had a hint of arrogance in their eyes. However, Tsing Hui did not have the intention to waste more time on them. If he had to do everything personally, then what was the point of having Dan Tai's family members? I will not say any superfluous words. How it was before, how it is now. After finishing his words, Tsing Hui's gaze landed on Dan Tating. After a moment, he looked back at Dan Taing. Compared to the overcautious Dan Tating, he actually admired Dan Taing more. Dan Taing will be in charge of the City Lord's Mansion. You can move to Dragon Whale City. Thank you, Island Master. Dan Taing will definitely live up to Island Master's expectations. Dan Taing stepped forward excitedly and promised. As for Dan Tating, although he was a little disappointed, the one who had taken over was his own daughter, so he didn't feel anything. Besides, indeed, it was because of his hesitation that the Dan Tai family missed the opportunity to improve their relationship with Tsing Hui. As for Tianshui City and Dragon Roar City, whoever can take down these two cities will be the new city lord of these two cities. However, I will only give you half a month's time. After half a month, if there's still no one who can do anything to Tianshui City and Dragon Roar City, I will personally take action. After finishing his words, Tsing Hui's expression turned cold. Similarly, no matter what you want to do, whether it's rebellion or fighting for power, you only have half a month's time. After half a month's time, I want the entire Dragon Whale Island to be peaceful again. Anyone who wants to stir up trouble will be killed without mercy. Hearing the words kill without mercy, the city lords and spirit-refining cultivators felt a chill in their hearts. Island Master. The name Dragon Whale Island was given by the Island Master of Dragon Whale Island. Now that Dragon Whale Island has changed owners, it should naturally change its name to show a new atmosphere. Island Master, please name this island. Then let's change it to Dragonslayer Island. Dragonslayer Island? Dan Taiying was slightly startled. Obviously, he didn't know why Tsing Hui wanted such a name. Dragonslayer? Just because he killed the Dragon Whale Island Master, he thought that he had killed a dragon? However, she immediately reacted. As a subordinate, she only needed to follow the Island Master's insignificant orders. Island Master is wise. The other city lords also agreed. Some even secretly laughed at the name, but their faces didn't reveal the slightest bit of it. Tsing Hui swept a glance at everyone. He seemed to have casually chosen this name, but in fact, his ambition was contained in a single name. Dragonslayer, a dragon among men, a dragon among men. To be able to escape the persecution of the 10 great sacred sects and establish a force overseas, which one of them couldn't be called a dragon among men. And his future goal was to use Dragon Whale Island to gain a foothold overseas. Then, he would use the overseas forces to help him search for objects that could carry the Tao. From there, he would be able to raise his primal chaos level to rank 30 and use the teleportation technique. In the process of unifying the outer seas, it was inevitable that there would be all kinds of snatching and killing. It was unknown how many famous overlords would fall under his sword. Dragonslayer Island? It wouldn't take long for it to live up to its name. Since Dragon Whale Island changed its name to Dragonslayer Island, Dragon Whale City also changed its name to Dragonslayer City. This series of changes would naturally cause Dragonslayer City to become turbulent. Fortunately, the overseas was different from the inland. In the inland, once there was chaos in some places, it would cause a long-lasting and far-reaching impact. But overseas, attacking cities and seizing land was a very normal phenomenon. Some cities thought that they were strong enough to conquer another city. Some islands felt that they were strong enough to conquer another island. This kind of thing was not uncommon. Thus, when the Dragon Whale Island Masters Corps, the subduing ocean guards, as well as the 2 city lords of Tianshui City and Dragoncry City, the disturbance in Dragonslayer Island quickly subsided in less than half a month. However, these so-called subsided disturbances were only limited to the surface. At least, there were many spirit-refining experts who secretly approached the Cloud Wave City Lord. Moreover, the Cloud Wave City Lord sent experts to infiltrate Dragonslayer City to investigate matters. In just half a month, Dragonslayer City had already killed more than a dozen awakening and true Qi experts who came spy on them. In this half a month, Tsing Hui did not stay idle. The wealth left behind by the Dragon Whale Island Master and the many treasures he obtained from the Hiza Chamber of Commerce were all sorted out by him. After sorting it out, Tsing Hui discovered that he now had a lot of wealth. Not to mention the rank 4 divine weapons. There were a total of 8 of them, including a middle rank 4 and a low rank 4 armor. The rank 4 armor could already be integrated into the earth energy and become a part of it, just like the dragon scale armor in Tsing Hui's hands. Once the earth energy was injected, it would transform into scales to protect the user. Even if an ordinary true Qi expert had a rank 3 divine weapon, they would not be able to do anything to it. Unfortunately, Tsing Hui's true Qi was not compatible with the dragon scale armor. This armor was the same as Blazing Glory's rank 4 upper armor, one of the armors that he could not safely use. Invade like fire. The fire element was mainly used for killing and destruction. In terms of attack, it was extremely fierce and invincible. But in terms of defense, there was really nothing worth praising about it. Other than these divine weapons and armors, there were many other cultivation materials, such as void stone, void grass, 100 refined water, and so on. In addition, there was a large amount of materials for forging swords and armors. Many of them were even rank 6. If Tsing Hui's divine protection technique was off cooldown, it would be impossible to forge a rank 6 divine weapon. But if these resources were combined, it was not impossible to forge a rank 5 divine weapon. Compared to the other things, the 2 soul dispersing pills are the most valuable. If used well, it is equivalent to having a loyal spirit unity realm subordinate. After sorting it out, Tsing Hui's gaze fell on the bottle of soul dispersing pills. Then, With a flip of his hand, he put it into his personal space. Tsing Hui, Island Master. Just at this moment, Dan Taiyu's voice came from outside the door. In the past 10 days, Dan Tating had already returned to North Sea City. However, Wu Yu and Dan Taiying stay behind. At the same time, Dan Taiyu, who was in North Sea City, was also sent to Zhanlong City to be in charge of Tsing Hui's daily necessities. Come in, Tsing Hui said. After the somewhat cautious Dan Taiyu stepped into the room, he said, I said before, no need to be so polite. Just call me Tsing Hui. But Uncle Wu and Big Sister have repeatedly reminded me that I must be respectful to you and not be rude. They aren't here right now, so just be a little more casual, Tsing Hui said and changed the topic. Is something the matter? And then, after Dan Taiyu finished speaking, she immediately took out a box. Even though the box was sealed well and had not been opened, Tsing Hui could still feel an extremely pure flame energy inside. This is... Tsing Hui opened the box, and a fiery red feather appeared in front of him. The moment the box was opened, a blazing aura rushed out. Fire Phoenix Feather? Yes, it is the Fire Phoenix Feather. This is the feather of an adult Fire Phoenix. It contains the pure aura of an adult Saint Beast. It's actually the Fire Phoenix Feather. Tsing Hui's face revealed a pleasantly surprised expression. An unexpected surprise. This was truly an unexpected surprise. The Fire Phoenix Feather. Even if it was an adult Fire Phoenix Feather, in terms of value, it would not necessarily be much higher than the Fire Essence Core of the 4th Order Half-Holy Beast Joying. If one simply absorbed the fire energy contained within, it would not even be as good as the Sun Essence. However, if one were to really use the Fire Phoenix Feather, it would definitely be a waste. The true value of the Fire Phoenix Feather was that before its energy was exhausted, it could greatly increase the compatibility between the cultivator and the fire energy. If one were to wear the Fire Phoenix Feather while cultivating a fire cultivation method, one would be able to achieve twice the results with half the effort. And if one were to cultivate a fire cultivation method and refine a fire attribute spirit stone, one would be able to greatly increase the refining speed and reduce the consumption of energy. Simply put, the energy contained within a Fire Phoenix Feather could allow a cultivator to unleash the effects of 200,000 peerless grade fire spirit stones. AI. Looking at the Fire Phoenix Feather, Tsing Hui could not help but secretly feel regret. If he had gotten this Fire Phoenix Feather earlier, he wouldn't have had to use up the Great Sun Essence first. With the Fire Phoenix Feather's miraculous effect, he could have refined 5,000 Supreme Grade Fire Spirit Stones in half a month. And with the help of these 5,000 Supreme Grade Fire Spirit Stones, he could have rushed to the Golden Crow Zhun Qi completion stage. Once his Golden Crow True Qi was complete, he could use the Fire Phoenix Feather to refine the Sun Essence and rush to the realm of Spirit refining in one go. Moreover, he would be close to the realm of small success. After that, he would spend another month or so to refine the remaining peerless grade fire spirit stones and rush to the realm of small success. Unfortunately, he had already used up the Sun Essence, and if he wanted to obtain another Sun Essence, unless he was willing to kill his way into the Jin Wu religion and plunder it, it would be no different from a fool's dream. Tsing Hui, this is the gift my father wanted me to give to you. You don't like it? I like it. It's just that he came a little late, Tsing Hui said and shook his head. Cultivation was a very private matter. It was not good for him to say too much to Dan Taiyu. I understand your father's intentions. You can tell him and your sister that as long as the Dantai family does not let me down, the Dantai family's position on Dragon Beheading Island will not be shaken. Chapter 131. Young Master. As Tsing Hui was refining his genuine qi, Yin Huang, who was summoned by him, finally arrived. Congratulations, young master. Congratulations. As soon as he entered the study, Yin Huang immediately congratulated and bowed to Tsing Hui respectfully. He didn't expect that Tsing Hui had already established such a huge foundation in just a few months after leaving Colored Glaze Island. A behemoth like Dragon Whale Island could be ranked in the top 100 in the entire sea region. Normally, Colored Glaze Island wouldn't dare to provoke them. But now, the entire island was conquered by Tsing Hui and became his exclusive territory. It's just a small matter, Tsing Hui said, and said to the guard outside the door, "Call Steward Wu and Deputy Governor Yin over." Soon, the guard acknowledged and retreated. "You came at the right time. The owner of Dragon Whale Island left behind a lot of things. Help me sort them out. I want to bring them inland." "Yes, I will ask Steward Wu to cooperate with you to sort out these resources. How many spiritual fire crystals I can exchange for on this trip will depend on the background of Dragon Whale Island. Dragon Whale Island is famous. There must be a lot of treasures hidden here over the years. You will definitely be able to return with a full load," Yin Huang said respectfully. Tsing Hui nodded. Soon, Wu Yu and Dan Taiying followed the guard into the study. "Greetings, Island Master. Wu Yu, cooperate with Yin Huang to sort out the resources on Dragon Whale Island. I want to bring the valuable items inland for exchange." "Yes." After a short while, he carefully suggested, "Island Master, even though the treasure offering ceremony has ended, the city lords who presented the treasures were mostly collected by the Dragon Whale Island Master. These treasures won't be of much help to you, Island Master. Now that the dragon-slaying island has settled down, Island Master can restart the treasure offering ceremony and order the city lords to present the Fire Element Supreme treasures. Those who present the most valuable treasures will be heavily rewarded. By then, you might be able to gain something unexpected." Tsing Hui's heart skipped a beat when he heard that. He had neglected this point. "All right, I'll leave this matter to you. However, I still have to make the trip to the mainland as soon as possible. Taking into account the journey to and fro, as well as the delay, the treasure presentation assembly will be held in 3 months. This way, those city lords can be mentally prepared and have time to collect fire tribute treasures. Yes, before the new round of treasure presentation begins, I still have to make a trip to Wave City. If I'm not wrong, there should be quite a number of spirit-refining cultivators, including a few city lords, secretly trying to get close to the Wave City Lord. I might as well make a trip there personally." As Tsing Hui spoke, he turned to Dan Taiying and said, "Organize a group of people and follow me. If Wave City's city lord intends to stubbornly resist to the end, then we will solve this problem once and for all." When Dan Taiying heard this, he immediately responded excitedly, "I'll arrange it right away." Because of the existence of Wave City's city lord, Dragon Beheading Island indeed had some undercurrents. Now that Tsing Hui was willing to personally solve this problem, it would definitely allow Dragon Beheading Island to completely calm down. It would also be of great help to her in ruling Dragon Beheading Island. An hour later, a large warship soared into the sky from Dragon Beheading Island and flew towards Wave City. While this warship was flying towards Wave City, countless messages were sent to Wave City through various kinds of communication birds. Regarding this, Tsing Hui did not stop them. Since he wanted to kill one to warn 100, the more people knew about this, the better. If one Spirit Chi Unity Realm expert's blood was not enough, then 2. With his current ability, suppressing a small dragon beheading island was not a difficult matter. The warship advanced without any surprises or dangers. Even when it reached the boundary of Wave City, it did not encounter any obstructions. This scene made Tsing Hui and the others who were already prepared somewhat surprised. "I thought that they would use the Yuan spirit cannons to shoot down our warship to give us a show of strength." Tsing Hui looked at the warship that had already entered Wave City and was heading towards the port. "Seems like Taoist Master Yin Tao is quite tactful." Dan Taiying smiled faintly. In fact, it was indeed so. When Tsing Hui descended from the warship and landed at the port, Taoist Master Yin Tao, who was dressed in green and looked like an elegant scholar, was already waiting for him with a few people. Seeing Tsing Hui descend from the warship, Taoist Master Yin Tao only felt that the true chi fluctuation on his body was a little strange. However, considering the information he had gathered, he still went forward and bowed. "Greetings, Island Lord." "Don't be so courteous, Yin Tao City Lord," Sing Hui said. His gaze went past Taoist Master Yin Tao and landed on the five spirit refining cultivators who were subdued behind him. "Seems like Yin Tao City Lord has made the right choice." "Yes." After speaking, Taoist Master Yin Tao waved his hand. Immediately, the five spirit refining cultivators who were subdued by him were brought forward. These five people's acupuncture points were obviously sealed and could not speak. However, their gazes towards Taoist Master Yun Tao were filled with anger and unwillingness. "That's Tsunami City's Vice City Lord, Luchuan City's Vice City Lord. And these three people, one represents Guelu City, and the other two are famous spirit refining cultivators. I'm afraid they want to take advantage of the chaos to occupy the city and become the city lord." Dan Taiying was born and raised in Jianlong Island. He had some understanding of the famous spirit refining cultivators in Jianlong Island and was able to identify the five spirit refining cultivators in one breath. Miss Dantai's eyes are as sharp as torches. Yun Tao smiled faintly and said, "Among these people, one of them wants to overthrow his city lord, while the other two are here on behalf of the city lords behind them. They want to bewitch me and make me fight against the island lord. Previously, I didn't make a move because I wanted to see if I could lure more people to take the bait. Now that the island lord has arrived, I made a move and captured all of them. Other than these spirit refining cultivators, there are also many true Qi realm cultivators. However, those people are not worth mentioning. These people will be handed over to the city lord to deal with." Sing Hui sized up Taoist Master Yun Tao. His eyes were deep. Taoist Master Yun Tao looked at Sing Hui with sincerity. "Yin Tao City Lord, you have made the right choice. Island Lord can even kill the dragon whale, Island Lord. If I choose to fight against the Island Lord, then I would be overestimating myself." Taoist Master Yin Tao said truthfully. "Do I need to say how to deal with the crime of rebellion?" Sing Hui said to Dan Taiying without turning his head. "This subordinate understands." Dan Taiying replied and immediately gave the order. Behind her, five true Qi realm cultivators rushed forward. While the five spirit refining cultivators struggled in fear, they raised their hands and slashed down. Fresh blood splattered all over the ground. Such a scene fell into the eyes of the other spirit refining and true Qi realm cultivators who came to welcome them. They could not help but feel a chill in their hearts. They looked at Sing Hui with even more respect. It is said that Yun Tao City Lord awakened a heaven and earth spiritual root. I'm quite curious. Would it be possible for me to broaden my horizons? Sing Hui said, and used an appraisal technique on Taoist Master Yun Tao. However, the information he received from Taoist Master Yun Tao caused his expression to change slightly. Name: Yun Tao Primal Chaos Rank. Rank 4 Attack Rank. 41 Defense Rank. 44 Speed Rank. 40 Spirit Rank. 43 Son of Primal Chaos. The Yun Tao in front of him was actually a son of Primal Chaos. Although his rank was only rank 4, but he had finally stepped into the ranks of sons of Primal Chaos. Wait a moment. If he was a son of Primal Chaos, then it was impossible for him not to have noticed the abnormal strength he displayed when he killed the dragon whale Island Lord. In other words, he should have guessed that he had used a sacred art. He knew that he had used a sacred art, but he did not immediately take advantage of the cooldown period to attack him. Flying sword, Sing Hui muttered to himself. With a flying sword, he could come and go as he pleased. In addition, his strength was not weak. Even if Yin Tao could defeat him, he would not be able to kill him, let alone capture him alive. And now, he was acting so docile. Sing Hui smiled. He could not be bothered to scheme against Yin Tao, nor did he want to know why he was so calm. Boom! In the next moment, a terrifying aura suddenly erupted from Sing Hui's body. Before Yin Tao could figure out what was wrong with him, Sing Hui suddenly unsheathed the Crimson Dragon Sword. In the air, a golden crow spread its wings and a terrifying heat wave filled the entire sky above the spaceport. It was as if a scorching sun had risen from the 300-meter-tall spaceport, illuminating the entire wave city. Island Lord. Not good. Yin Tao roared. Not only did a suit of armor appear on his body, but the armor also manifested a large number of green vines to protect him. However, it was useless. After using a sacred art and wielding the Crimson Dragon Sword, a high-grade rank 5 divine weapon, Sing Hui's attack rank was not inferior to that of a mid-stage blue netherworld expert. With a slash of his sword, the Golden Crow projection suddenly swooped down. Instantly, more than half of the spaceport's platform exploded and was destroyed. The few true energy realm experts behind Yun Tao did not even have time to scream before they were turned into ashes. Rumble. The rising scorching sun's power condensed to its peak and exploded. A circle of chi wave visible to the naked eye swept out in all directions with the spaceport as the center, attacking the warships hovering above the spaceport. The Zhanlong Island's warship, which was closer to the center, was directly hit by the force and was turned over. Amidst countless screams and cries, the warship fell from the 300-meter-tall spaceport. However, other than the cultivators on the warship, no one else cared about what happened to the warship. Everyone's gaze was focused on the gradually dissipating, blazing flames. As for those spirit-refining cultivators in the direction of Cloud Wave City, all of them kept quiet out of fear, their eyes filled with fear. Take them down. Under Tantai Yin's command, the True Chi Realm cultivators and the 2 spirit-refining cultivators who had just joined the alliance swarmed forward. Clearly, there were 8 spirit-refining cultivators present in Wave City, but these 8 people did not dare to resist at all. Especially after one of them was killed by the Qing Su sword, the remaining 7 people allowed the people from Dragon Beheading Island to capture them alive. Sing Hui walked forward slowly. The blazing flames on the spaceport's platform seemed to be welcoming the arrival of a king and dispersed to both sides. Not long after, Yin Tao's tragic figure appeared from the flames. Sing Hui stepped forward and stabbed with his Crimson Dragon Sword, breaking Yin Tao's 4 limbs and crippling his true chi to prevent him from committing suicide. Only then did he stop while Yin Tao was screaming. Now, you can tell me what your plan is. Chapter 132. Yin Tao stared at Sing Hui, his eyes filled with terror. I've checked the information. Cultivators who have awakened their spiritual roots of heaven and earth have extremely tenacious vitality. They have powerful recovery abilities. Although I've pierced your limbs and sealed your Jin Qi, you'll be able to recover in a few days. Therefore, whether you live or die is up to you. Island Lord, I have no enmity toward you and am willing to submit to you out of goodwill. Why are you doing this to me? I don't want to waste my breath. Sing Hui waved his hand at Dan Taiying. Dan Taiying immediately understood the situation and quickly retreated with the people of Wave City. At the same time, he organized people to rescue the warship that had crashed from the spaceport, leaving space for his Island Lord. Since you guessed that I used a divine technique to kill the Dragon Whale Island Lord, you should know that the Sons of Chaos have a skill called appraisal. In that case, why did you, a 4th-stage Son of Chaos, remain so obedient even after knowing that I'm a 10th-stage Son of Chaos and above? Why is that? Every Son of Chaos is a Son of Chaos bestowed by the heavens. Unless there's a huge difference between the two, it's impossible for a Son of Chaos to submit to another Son of Chaos. I don't think my charm is so great that I can subdue you before we even meet. Yin Tao's face instantly paled. At this moment, he finally knew where his problem lay. Appraisal. The Qing Su before him had actually wasted a step of his extremely precious chaotic realm on appraisal. A rank 4 Son of Chaos would never be able to understand the mentality of a high-rank Son of Chaos. Tell me what I want and pass down your rank, and I'll let you live. No, I can't lose my status as a Son of Chaos. Then, do you want to see if your willpower can withstand the punishment that's coming? Yin Tao's eyes filled with uncontrollable fear as large beads of sweat rolled down his forehead. The reason why the Dragon Whale Island Lord's soul-dispersing pill couldn't control you is one of the reasons why your mind is so powerful. Another reason is that you're a son of chaos, right? If you want to live, you have to give up your identity as the son of chaos. This is an irreversible logic. Since I've decided to use a soul-dispersing pill on you, I naturally won't kill you. After all, I still need an expert at the Unity of Spirit tier to oversee Dragon Slaying Island for me. Ching Su paused when he said that. My patience is limited. You have 3 breaths time to consider. I. Yin Tao's face was filled with struggle and fear. 3 seconds passed in the blink of an eye, and Tsing Hui's expression gradually turned cold. He finally made his decision. I'm willing to give up my identity as the son of chaos. As soon as he finished speaking, he let out a long sigh, as if his entire body was about to collapse. Hand over everything in your personal space. I didn't take anything out of my personal space. Everything is in the secret chamber in the City Lord's residence's study. Yin Tao had already made his decision. At this moment, he was much more open-minded. He smiled bitterly and said, "Of the 4 levels of chaos, I put 3 on recovery to make my recovery ability stronger. As for the other one, because I've been unable to comprehend the crux of martial will, I put it on comprehension." Tsing Hui glanced at Yin Tao. In just a short moment, the blood on his body had stopped flowing, and his limbs were probably able to move slightly now. At this rate, in less than a day, the wound that Tsing Hui had pierced through him would be completely healed. This kind of recovery ability was truly terrifying. Originally, Tsing Hui had planned to let Dan Taiyu adopt the Chaos level. After all, Dan Taiyu had cultivated Saint-grade vital energy, and her potential was greater than Dan Taiying's. However, in order to avoid any unforeseen circumstances, he could only call Dan Taiying over. Do you know what a son of chaos is? Son of chaos. Dan Taiying was slightly stunned. Then, as if he had thought of something, his heartbeat seemed to slow down by half a beat. He knew that it was very likely that he had encountered the greatest opportunity of his life. I know, very good. Tsing Hui's gaze turned to Yin Tao. Yin Tao painfully handed over his primal chaos spell and spiritual frequency. After receiving the chaos level technique, Dan Taiying's entire body trembled slightly. After failing several times, he finally succeeded in entering the chaos space and inheriting Yin Tao's chaos level. The moment he inherited Yin Tao's primal chaos rank, Yin Tao suddenly let out a scream of agony. His face turned even paler. Tsing Hui glanced at him. After sensing that the vitality in his body had weakened greatly, he immediately understood that the inheritance of the Son of Chaos had ended. Add your chaos level to comprehension and cultivate as soon as possible. It's best if you break through to the spirit and chi unity realm as soon as possible. Only then will you be able to convince everyone that you're the #1 clan on Dragon Slaying Island. Tsing Hui said. Yes. Dan Taiying responded somewhat excitedly. Take it. Tsing Hui withdrew his gaze from Dan Taiying, took out a soul-dispersing pill, and handed it to Yin Tao. At this point, Yin Tao had no way out. He could only take the soul-dispersing pill and swallow it. After taking the soul-dispersing pill, although Yin Tao's expression was still pained, Tsing Hui could sense that the hatred in the depths of his eyes had weakened greatly. How is it? Thank you, Island Master. To think that I didn't know the immensity of heaven and earth and went against you. I didn't even consider that you're a high-level son of chaos. Your future is limitless. With my lowly aptitude, the spirit and chi unity realm is my limit. If I want to stand out and cultivate to a higher realm in the future, I can only rely on you and be at your beck and call. Tsing Hui stared at Yin Tao, inwardly in awe. He could tell that Yin Tao was speaking from the bottom of his heart. A soul-dispersing pill had already caused such a huge change in his temperament. He really did not know what kind of person developed such a miraculous pill in ancient times. In the future, you'll oversee Dragon Slaying Island for me. After all, Dragon Slaying Island is a large island with a vast area and many inhabitants. Moreover, there are many mineral resources. If there is no spirit and Chi Unity Realm expert overseeing it, it will definitely attract the attention of others. Yes. Yin Tao responded respectfully. After a moment, as if he had thought of something, he quickly lowered his head and said, I've committed a capital offense. 3 days ago, I've already sent a message to a chaos organization that I belong to and invited other experts in the organization to hunt you down. I'll a master. I'll strip you of your chaos level. Please punish me. When Tsing Hui heard this, he felt that it was reasonable. He knew that Yin Tao had a plan for being so docile earlier. He did not expect that Yin Tao was eyeing his chaos level. He had the divine skill, so he was at least a level 10 son of chaos. A level 10 son of chaos would inherit a level 5 son of chaos, which was at least much more powerful than a level 4 son of chaos like him. Who did you invite? Can you ask them to leave now? They're all core figures in my chaos organization. Their status is the same as mine. It's not very possible to ask them to leave. Same as yours? How many people? How's their cultivation? Island Master, due to your ferocious strength, you killed the Dragon Whale Island Master with one sword. Your combat power is almost at the peak of Spirit and Chi Unity Realm. To ensure that nothing goes wrong, I invited 4 people. Among the 4, 1 is at the late stage of Spirit and Chi Unity Realm, and 3 are at the intermediate stage of Spirit and Chi Unity Realm. Among them, the one at the late stage of Spirit and Chi Unity Realm is good at defense and is specially used to resist your attacks when you use your divine skill. The other few have their own specialties. They are either good at binding or tracking. You, an early stage Spirit and Chi Unity Realm cultivator, actually dared to conspire with 4 such powerful figures? Island Master may not know, but although our chaos organization doesn't have a sword wielder, in order to ensure unity and loyalty, the members of the organization usually need to pawn an item of Tao Rhythm with 10 Tao Rhythm. In addition, before this mission, I asked them to pawn an item of Tao Rhythm with 10 Tao Rhythm. If they dare to attack me and break the rules of the organization, not only will they lose the item of Tao Rhythm, they will also be hunted down by the stronger members of the organization. Therefore, unless there is a huge conflict of interest, very few people will break the rules. Tsing Hui listened and nodded. An item of Tao Rhythm with 20 Tao Rhythm. Seems like your chaos organization is not bad. Yin Tao forced a smile. When will they arrive? The 4 of them are in different places, and each of them has something on hand. It will take 1 to 2 months for them to gather. Including the time taken to travel, it will take 3 months for them to arrive at Dragon Slaying Island. 3 months, Tsing Hui pondered for a while. In 3 months, he had already obtained a large amount of fire spirit crystals. Breaking through to the spirit refining realm was not a problem. Spirit refining realm cultivation, divine technique, and Yin Tao as a spy. Thinking of this, Tsing Hui's expression turned cold. Just nice, I still lack quite a number of Chaos Realm cultivators. I could transform my right-hand men one by one. That Dan Tating, although his eyesight is not good, his accumulation in the spirit refining realm is very deep. If he can become a Chaos Sun and obtain the Chaos Sun's comprehension, rushing to the Spirit Chi Unity realm will not be difficult. After saying this, Tsing Hui said, when they arrive, hold them down and wait for my orders. Yes, Island Master. Tsing Hui nodded and looked at the Spirit Refining Realm and True Chi Realm cultivators. To prevent them from being suspicious, it's best not to spread this matter. Therefore, how you want to keep it a secret is up to you. This subordinate understands. Prepare another warship for me. Island Master, why don't you come to this subordinate's residence? During this period of time, this subordinate has cultivated quite a number of special plants on Dragon Whale Island. No need. You shouldn't delay your cultivation. Go. Yes. Yin Tao replied and quickly got someone to prepare the warship. The Spirit Refining Realm and true Qi realm cultivators of Wave City had personally witnessed Sing Hui injuring their own city lord with a sword. In addition, their own city lord was obviously beaten in a submission by Sing Hui. At that moment, they did not dare to be negligent and quickly arranged everything properly. An hour later, a warship rose into the air and flew back to Zhanlong City. After staying in Zhanlong City for a day and waiting for blazing glory and Wu to prepare all the materials needed for the transaction, Sing Hui did not waste any time. The warship once again rose into the air and flew away from Zhanlong Island, heading inland. Chapter 133. Lorraine Kingdom. At this time, at the airport of the Lorraine Kingdom, there were dozens of experts looking up. Although there weren't many true energy realm powerhouses among these experts, and there weren't even many awakening realm powerhouses, but in the small Lorraine Kingdom, it was still enough to subvert the entire kingdom. In order to prevent the Lorraine Kingdom's cultivators from offending these big shots, the entire airport had been completely sealed off by the Imperial Guards sent by the Lorraine Kingdom's royal family. Even the Lorraine Kingdom's Emperor, Luo Jiuzhou, and the old ancestor, Luo Tianming, accompanied them and looked into the distance from time to time. This scene fell into the eyes of those who didn't know about it not far away from the airport, and they were curious as to who was about to come to the Lorraine Kingdom. I didn't expect that in just a few years, the young man who had to pay a deposit at the entrance of our inn garden has grown to such a level. His visit alone has alarmed countless powerhouses. Not to mention the emperor. Even the old ancestor of the royal family was alarmed and personally came to welcome him. On a tall building not far from the airport, Nangong Lai smiled bitterly. I regret not listening to the princess's words. Luo Hunyuan's face was full of regret. If he had listened to Princess Qingluan's words and recruited Sing Hui and protected him under the pressure of the third prince, with this favor, with Sing Hui's cultivation and status now, with just a little help, the throne of the Lorraine Kingdom would belong to him. But it was too late to say anything now. People don't know the cloud-soaring tree, but the cloud-soaring tree is the highest. LVU sighed. Luo Hunyuan, Luo Tiancheng, and the others looked at each other for a moment. They didn't have the ability to judge people. No wonder they could only stay in the position of prince and couldn't ascend to the throne. They're here. At this moment, Princess Qingluan, who had been silent, suddenly spoke. With her reminder, everyone looked at the horizon at the same time. They saw a large battleship that had obviously been modified, slowly decelerating, and finally docked at the airport of the Lorraine Kingdom. As the warship came to a stop, the people in charge of greeting all stepped forward. At this moment, the door of the warship opened. Two teams led by spirit refining realm cultivators and dozens of true Qi cultivators quickly disembarked from the warship and guarded the two sides of the warship. In the middle of the crowd, Sing Hui, Yan Huang, and a black-robed man leisurely walked over, attracting the attention of everyone present. Chot Sing Hui, is it really him? 4, 5, 6, 2 spirit refining cultivators, 30 true Qi cultivators, my God. In the entire Lorraine Kingdom, there are less than 10 true Qi cultivators. Right now, the number of true Qi cultivators led by Qing Su has reached 30, not to mention the 2 spirit refining cultivators. Since when did he have such a huge force in his hands? 2 spirit refining cultivators and a mysterious expert who killed 5 spirit refining cultivators, including Situ Qiushi. In addition, the black-robed man seems to be a spirit refining cultivator. This lineup is enough to sweep through almost all the kingdoms under the Hunyuan heaven sect. Seeing Sing Hui surrounded by so many strong cultivators, the people upstairs couldn't help but suck in a breath of cold air. Not only them, even the Lorraine royal family waiting at the airport felt the same, especially Luo Jiuzhou and Luo Tianming, the 2 representatives of the Lorraine royal family. After secretly looking at each other, they saw the joy in each other's eyes. Fortunately, when Sing Hui revealed a rank 3 divine weapon, they didn't do anything rude to Sing Hui because of his relationship with Nalan Fei. The only one who offended him, the third prince, was expelled from the royal city. Otherwise, if Tsing Hui wanted to settle the score, he could easily destroy the Lorraine royal family by relying on the dozens of true qi cultivators and spirit-refining cultivators he brought. Greetings to Prince Tsing Hui. Greetings to Prince Tsing Hui. Following the arrival of Tsing Hui, by Lan Sheng and the others, who represented Nayland Fei, immediately stepped forward and bowed respectfully. Tsing Hui nodded slightly to the crowd. After his gaze swept across these people, he found a familiar figure. Xian Long? Lord! Xian Long quickly stepped forward and bowed respectfully. Tsing Hui's gaze lingered on Xian Long for a moment before nodding slightly. Not bad. You've already cultivated to the middle stage of the awakening realm. The most important thing in the awakening realm is to dig out your own potential. The more potential you dig out, the better the quality of your true qi. Speaking to this point, he paused slightly. What kind of bloodline did you awaken? This subordinate awakened the bloodline of the sacred beast Tianpeng by chance. Xian Long said with a trace of excitement on his face. Sacred beast bloodline? Yin Huang, who was following closely behind Tsing Hui, looked at Xian Long. You're Xian Long? The owner of the divine weapon building from before? I've heard the young master mention you before. If you don't mind, I can give you some pointers in your awakening realm cultivation. Who knows? You might be able to cultivate sacred grade true qi. Sacred grade true qi? Xian Long's face was filled with ecstasy. Moreover, he recognized that the man in front of him was the one who had displayed his might in the Luo Lin kingdom not long ago. He was the one who had killed 5 spirit-refining cultivators. Although he had never seen it with his own eyes, he had heard of his name more than once in the Luo Lin kingdom. To be able to receive pointers from such a famous spirit-refining cultivator was definitely a good opportunity. Xian Long's heart was moved, but he still turned his gaze to Tsing Hui, as if waiting for Tsing Hui's decision. Tsing Hui glanced at Yin Huang and was slightly satisfied with his decision. After all, Xian Long was the first cultivator to rely on him. Although he was only in the awakening realm and was not worth mentioning to him who occupied the Dragon Beheading Island, as his first follower, he naturally could not abandon him just because his cultivation was not good enough. Unfortunately, Tsing Hui did not have much time to give him anything. In the future, Yin Huang would be in charge of guiding him in his cultivation. This was indeed the best way to deal with him. Some time ago, when that woman Bu went crazy, I did not see you. I thought that you had an accident. It's good that you're fine. In the future, you can follow Yin Huang to cultivate. Thank you, Prince Tsing Hui. Thank you, Lord Yin Huang. Xian Long hurriedly bowed to the two. All right, there is no need for so many formalities, Tsing Hui said and turned his gaze to Bai Lan Sheng. Is my aunt here? Miss has already helped you to contact the channels you need. She's waiting for you. Good. Tsing Hui nodded and then nodded to Luo Jiuzhou and Luo Tianming, who came forward to greet him. He did not talk much with them, and directly followed by Lan Sheng to the courtyard where Nayland Fei lived. With his current status and the many experts in his hands, there was no need for him to pay any attention to the royal family of the Luo Lin kingdom. Young master, with Lord Yin Huang here, we can go and look for the treasures left behind by Golden Light Cultivator. Xian Long followed beside Tsing Hui and said eagerly, the treasures left behind by Golden Light Cultivator? Tsing Hui's heart shook. He seemed to have heard Xian Long mention it before. Yes, Golden Light Cultivator did not seem to indicate his personal space. Many of his treasures are left in one place. However, there are many mechanisms and traps left behind by Golden Light Cultivator, making it very dangerous. We can only go there after our cultivation has reached a certain level. Right now, with young master and Lord Yin Huang's abilities, it is more than enough to break into the treasure trove left behind by Golden Light Cultivator. Hearing Xian Long's words, Tsing Hui's heart shook as if he had thought of something. I remember you saying that Golden Light Cultivator once destroyed a branch of the Jinwu religion? Yes. The Jinwu religion's branches were in fact similar to the various peaks of the Hunyuan heaven sect. However, The various peaks of the Hunyuan heaven sect were relatively close to the Hunyuan heaven sect. If they encountered any danger, the Hunyuan heaven sect headquarters would be able to immediately send experts to reinforce them. However, the Jinwu religion's branches were different. They were set up in various areas under the jurisdiction of the Jinwu religion and were extremely far away from each other. If they encountered a great enemy, they would not be able to send reinforcements in time. This was also related to the way the Jinwu religion and the Hunyuan heaven sect nurture their disciples. The sect master of a branch is almost equivalent to a peak master of the Hunyuan heaven sect. There must be a lot of treasures in such a sect. Moreover, from the flying swords and divine weapons Golden Light cultivator used, he should have awakened the bloodline of a slaughtering spiritual beast or even a slaughtering sacred beast. The many fire attribute cultivation treasures in the Jinwu religion's branch should not be of much use to him. Moreover, he was chased to death by experts sent by the Jinwu religion not long after he destroyed the Jinwu religion's branch. He might not even have the time to exchange the treasures in the Jinwu religion for cultivation resources. Thinking of this, Tsing Hui's eyes suddenly lit up. If his guess was correct, Golden Light Cultivator's treasure trove was very likely to contain the essence of the sun. Xian Long, if Golden Light Cultivator's treasure trove really contains the treasures I need, I will definitely reward you handsomely. Go and see if there's anything you need to prepare. I'll go see my Aunt Nailin first. After I see her, we'll go and dig out the treasures Golden Light Cultivator left behind. Yes, Xian Long could finally be of use again. He hurriedly responded respectfully and did as he was told. At this moment, Qing Su arrived at Nailin Fei's courtyard under by Lanqing's lead. Nailin Fei was also waiting in the courtyard. She gave off a radiant feeling and seemed to be able to affect the mood of others just by standing there, making them involuntarily relaxed and happy. Tsing Hui, you're here? Nailin Fei greeted Tsing Hui with a smile when she saw him. Aunt seems to be in a good mood. Seems like something good happened. Yes. During this period of time, our Sky Dome has completely wiped out the divine punishment. As one of the top 10 core forces, my master got a lot of things. Coincidentally, someone from the Eastern Wilderness came to her for a trade. When she sent down her incarnation to complete the trade, she also asked those people to leave some treasures for me. There won't be any danger, right? No one in the Eastern Wilderness has the guts to have designs on our Sky Dome. After Nailin Fei finished speaking, she paused for a moment. Unfortunately, my master didn't upgrade her personal space to the 5th stage. Otherwise, her incarnation would be able to bring her personal space to descend, making some trades more convenient. Chapter 134. It's a pity that my master didn't upgrade his personal space to the 5th stage. Otherwise, his avatar could descend with his personal space, and some material transactions would be more convenient. The personal space can descend with his avatar? Of course, when any skill is upgraded to the 5th stage, there will be some special changes. When it reaches the 6th stage, it can be fine-tuned. In terms of the personal space, the special change at the 5th stage is that it can descend with his avatar. The fine-tuned control refers to the ability to control its expansion, height, length, and width. Tsing Hui nodded. He knew about the fine-tuned control. Just like divine arts, there were various options at the 6th stage. However, he didn't know about the special changes at the 5th stage. Sure enough, the information recorded in the free books wasn't comprehensive enough. Only at the 5th stage will there be a special change. Doesn't that mean the personal space has to wait until the 10th stage to accommodate life? Tsing Hui frowned. It is indeed the 10th stage. Nailin Fei said, the ability to accommodate life forms in the personal space is a very powerful ability. Think about it. If a 30th stage son of chaos upgraded his personal space to the 10th stage, he could hide an army in his personal space and throw it into any battlefield at any time, anywhere at this point. She couldn't help but laugh. I forgot that it's not just the personal space. In fact, Any special ability that is upgraded to the 10th stage will become extremely terrifying. Take the most basic recovery ability, for example. The 10th stage recovery ability combined with the 10th stage personal space and the first stage avatar technique is equivalent to being immortal and indestructible. The 10th stage recovery ability is rebirth from a drop of blood. As long as there is a drop of blood left, he can be resurrected. The cultivator only needs to leave a drop of blood in his personal space. Once in danger, he can directly project an avatar to an unknown coordinate. Even if the main body is killed, he can still be reborn. Rebirth from a drop of blood. We didn't even need to think to know how terrifying this ability was. Back then, there was a son of chaos who specialized in body refinement, who raised his recovery ability to the 10th level. In addition, he had the 10th level personal space and the transformation technique. With these characteristics, he had offended more than half of the first palace, 3 sects, 6 schools, and 9 schools of heaven wasteland with his mere cultivation of the 4th level of the saint realm. However, he still lived a glorious life. Whoever dared to offend him, he dared to rush into the headquarters of these large sects and kill them. Even if these forces sent peak saint experts to hunt him down, they still could not do anything to him. If an angry son of chaos had not directly launched a personal chaos war with him with the token of the world of battle and deprived him of his chaos level, he would still be able to live freely. Xing Hui nodded. At this point, Nalan Fei looked at Xing Hui and pondered for a moment before suddenly saying, "It's a bit presumptuous to ask this, but Xing Hui, your chaos rank should be very high, right?" Xing Hui immediately thought of the scene in Nalan Fei's personal space where her good friend Jean Yu had used the identification technique on him not long ago. In the end, he told the truth. "I obtained many Dao carrying items by chance. My chaos rank is 17. 17. Nalan Fei's beautiful eyes could not help but widen. Although Jean Yu had guessed that Xing Hui's chaos rank was most likely 16, she had never thought that Jean Yu would guess wrong. Xing Hui's chaos rank had actually reached 17. Fortunately, Nalan Fei was an elite in the Vault of Heaven, after all, and the 10 core people of the Vault of Heaven had an average chaos rank of 25. She had seen many high-level sons of chaos over the years. After a moment, she recovered from her shock. "I didn't expect your chaos rank to have reached such a level. It seems that I should have told you this earlier. Xing Hui, you should choose your own development direction." Development direction? Yes. Chaos rank 30 belongs to a whole new realm. Once you reach this realm, you will open the Chaos Treasure Pavilion. Xing Hui nodded. He had heard this from Nalan Fei. The Chaos Treasure Pavilion is the second watershed for the Sons of Chaos after the 10th level. A Son of Chaos who possesses the Chaos Treasure Pavilion and a Son of Chaos who doesn't possess the Chaos Treasure Pavilion are two completely different concepts. Because the numerous treasures sold in the Chaos Treasure Pavilion are sufficient to allow a Son of Chaos to easily widen the gap between him and an ordinary cultivator. Just like the Golden Crow blood essence. The Golden Crow is a terrifying creature that lives on a star, and it's formidable to the point of legend. Any Golden Crow is born with a cultivation at the Saint Realm, and an adult Golden Crow is an existence that surpasses the Saint Realm. It's utterly impossible for a Saint Realm cultivator to defeat it. Under these circumstances, the reason the Golden Crow blood essence is in circulation is because of the Chaos Treasure Pavilion. Xing Hui's breathing paused slightly. You mean the Chaos Treasure Pavilion sells the Golden Crow blood essence? Nalan Fei shook her head. Under Xing Hui's somewhat stunned gaze, she slowly said, "What I mean is that the Chaos Treasure Pavilion sells the blood essence of all divine beasts." All divine beasts? Xing Hui couldn't help but ask again. All divine beasts? Nalan Fei nodded heavily. Even the essence cores of divine beasts. Hiss. Xing Hui took a deep breath. Divine beast cores. That was the purest part of a divine beast, and only an adult divine beast could possess it. If one reared a golden crow, they could still extract blood essence from the golden crow by continuously letting it bleed. However, a divine beast core was equivalent to a divine beast life. The items in the Chaos Treasure Pavilion required Taoist rhymes to purchase. This is extremely costly, but this is not the point. What I want to say is, opening the Chaos Treasure Pavilion requires Taoist rhymes. This is a forced consumption. Taoist rhymes are consumed? Yes, Taoist rhymes are consumed. As Nalan Fei spoke, she took a small breath. 1 Taoist rhyme per day. Sing Huey's expression changed at once. 1 Taoist rhyme per day. That's right, Nalan Fei said. In fact, this is the real reason why Sons of Chaos above rank 30 are so rare. No one can withstand the consumption of 1 Taoist rhyme per day. Sing Hui was slightly silent. He could withstand it. The number of Sons of Chaos above rank 30 on Tianhuang continent can be counted on one hand. Every one of them is a leader ranked in the top 10 in the Chaos organization. However, even our leader, Sky Dome, usually remains at rank 29. Only when he accumulates a certain amount of Taoist rhymes and advances to rank 30 will he consume a bit of Taoist rhyme when the Chaos Treasure Pavilion opens to buy treasures or when he has to use the teleportation technique. After that, he will drop back to rank 29. Sing Hui had heard about the number of Sons of Chaos above rank 30 from Yanhuan. At that time, he had found it strange that a Son of Chaos above rank 25 could often get more than 10 Taoist rhymes for each transaction. Even if the Son of Chaos above rank 25 could not complete the transaction due to the lack of credibility, on average, once a year would give him 10 Taoist rhymes per year. In 100 years, he would have accumulated at least 1,000 Taoist rhymes and advanced to rank 10. Now, it seemed that the Chaos Treasure Pavilion was waiting for them. The main reason I'm telling you all this is to tell you that rank 29 is often the limit that a Son of Chaos can reach. Under such circumstances, it's important to establish your own direction and make reasonable use of the enhancement of your Chaos level. There are many kinds of directions. For example, the immortal path that I just told you about, the lucky path that my friend Jean you took, the path of a Tao enlightened master that specializes in increasing one's comprehension, the path of an array master, the path of a weapon refiner, the path of an alchemist, the path of the divination pavilion that specializes in the appraisal technique, and so on. It's better to be good at everything than good at everything. If you don't have a clear direction, just having an extraordinary Chaos level may not be of much help to your cultivation. Sing Hui nodded slightly at this. Think about these problems carefully. In a while, I'll give you a relatively powerful development map. You can combine your current many characteristics and choose a development path that suits you. A development path that suits me. Sing Hui recalled the many characteristics that he had gained: recovery characteristic, comprehension, sword Dao talent, appraisal technique, personal space advancement technique, divine protection technique, divine skill. How could the word chaotic be enough to describe it? What I want to ask is, can the Chaos level be redone? You didn't add them completely randomly, did you? Sing Hui nodded. Nalan Fei felt helpless at once. In that case, you can only choose the one with the highest enhancement. Sing Hui glanced at his many characteristics under the Chaos level. Rank 4 comprehension, rank 4 recovery, rank 3 sword Dao talent, rank 2 divine protection technique, rank 1 appraisal technique, rank 1 personal space, rank 1 advancement technique, rank 1 divine protection technique. The highest, comprehension and recovery. He could choose the Tao enlightened master path and the immortal body path. Among them, the Tao enlightened master path obviously had the advantage because he also had a rank 3 sword Dao talent. If he followed the sword Dao path, he could maximize this advantage. However, the recovery characteristic was related to whether he could further liberate himself and dig out more of his body's potential. Moreover, its powerful life-saving ability was also very effective. You don't have to make a decision in a hurry. Anyway, it's not easy to increase the Chaos level. Take your time to think about it. Nalan Fei said. Sing Hui glanced at his Taoist rhyme value. In another 10 days, his chaos level would reach rank 18. There was not much time left unless he was willing to keep his Taoist rhyme from increasing the chaos level. The immortal body technique requires at least 21 chaos levels. Recovery is rank 10, personal space is rank 10, and transformation technique is rank 1. I'm currently 13 chaos levels away from rank 30. Recovery characteristic is rank 4, personal space is rank 1. The chaos levels are not enough. However, the Tao Enlightened Master Path is also not enough. I have to point out the transformation technique no matter what. Sing Hui shook his head. Forget it. Annie, I've prepared some items to sell. Please take care of them. Oh, you don't plan to go? Time is tight. I have something to do and need to return overseas within 3 months. Moreover, there's also something on the mainland that needs to be dealt with immediately. The matter Tsing Hui mentioned was naturally to dig out the treasures left behind by Jingguang Sanren with Xian Long. The things inside were related to whether he could quickly rush to the spirit refining realm. In addition, there's another person that I need to introduce to Annie. Tsing Hui said to the door, "Come in." A moment later, a man wrapped in a black robe slowly walked in. As he took off the hat on his head and revealed his face, Nailan Fei and Yin Huang both cried out in surprise. Zhang Jiu Xiao, you're tuning in to the Warrior Lore YouTube channel. Don't forget to subscribe and join us on this journey to catch the most captivating stories.